Yo, 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 what's Papino? What's Papino? Zeke Black is in the building. Zeke Black is in the building. We have a dope show today. This is a different. It should be a different. We're starting off from a different vibe because we did a great interview the first time, but it was a lot of information. So now we're pinning down the information, how it started and where and how where it got to. Now we both know that Kyambo is behind two of the African American hip hop artists, Jay-Z and Kanye West. These are African American billionaires. This is the air. He had the air to create this energy. You know what I'm saying? His love for hip hop helped these guys become something that we, as kids, we never thought can happen. African American billionaires. That come from our cloth. Not saying doctors, lawyers, but like exactly from the cloth that we come from our dirty hallways to being billionaires. Smith was behind that. So he enter the studio and we here, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to East Harlem, shout out to West Harlem. And we gonna get to the meat and potatoes, the nitty gritty, how this started. You heard? I'm not chasing. Young.
What up? What up?
How you doing, brother? Good morning, man. Good morning. Good morning.
I'm good. You can hear me good?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Question. This is dope. You said your mother worked for Pan Am. She worked for the airlines. Your brothers was outside. They was doing the things they was doing at that era.
Mm-hmm.
But you found a passion. Basketball and hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Max.
Who was your early basketball idols?
Early basketball idols, like locally or just like from
Locally and NBA at that time. College. It's anything in between street college, NBA.
Right. Gotcha. Let me see. Off top, it was Malik Sealy and St. John's. I was a St. John's fan.
Chris
and
Mullins.
And Mark Jackson. But a little after that, so by the time I got up on St. John's, Mark Jackson was in NBA. So it was kind of like that's when I really got into it around that year. That was like 86, 80, whatever that year was. So I got into it around that time. But a guy that used to babysit me, his brother was on to John's the next year. His name was Dave Kane. You know what I'm saying? So Dave Kane, brother, Tim, used to watch me for my moms and stuff. He take me to the movies and stuff like that. And as I started getting into basketball, he was like, yeah, my brother's going to St. John's next year. And then I was like, for real? That's where Malik Sealy go. You know what I'm saying? So I'm already into Malik Sealy. And then I knew who Charnel Scott used to live up the block from me. He was like a big 7-footer. Yeah. And he went to St. John's. So everybody started going to St. John's at that time, and I became a St. John's fan. A few of these people I knew personally, so I could go to the basketball camps, I could go to the games.
Yes.
So I was really close to that team as far as that goes. Yeah. But so Malik Sealy is definitely the first person. The reason why I used to want to wear number 21 and stuff like that, all came from Malik Sealy.
Yes.
And I was in elementary school, so that was one of the first people I remember like wanting to idolize and be like, you know what I'm saying, was definitely Malik. And then it kind of went into, I was a big street ball fan. So I was into like Rucker and all that. So I like them players just as much. So I was into like Master Rob. Master Rob was one of my favorite players. So I really followed him and wherever he played at. It was another player by the name of Dancing Doogie. He used to be up on Rucker, Doogie. So it was like a few of those players that was real smooth, handled the rock, you know, and all of that. So of course you had Kingdom. So that was like a whole nother thing. Like I played at Kingdom, King Towers when they was in 112, PS 112. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, what school is that?
Talking about
what school is that on 112th Street?
112th and on the west side, right? I don't know the school. It's right across street from Foster.
Between Fifth and Lenox, cross street from Foster.
Yeah, there's a store right there, Johnny's store.
Yeah, it used to be. I mean, that school right there.
Yes.
That's where it used to be at.
Yes.
And then it was in the projects, in the big park.
Yes.
The first was in the big park.
Yes.
On Lenox, and then it moved to the circle. So it moved around a lot, and they had different variations of King Towers, King Dome. You know what I'm saying? A lot of variations of that type of tournament and stuff. So, yes, I guess you starting there with like Malik, and then also the street ball players. NBA was like, you know, whatever. It didn't really relate to me.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really, you know, I wasn't that big yet. I wasn't dunking. I wasn't, you know, it wasn't accessible. You didn't really, I wasn't dreaming that far yet. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to make the team. You know what I'm saying? I was trying to make biddies and small fry and stuff like that. So I was looking up to players who was just a little above me.
Yes.
I looked up to Andre Hudson, Honeycomb. You know what I'm saying? I looked up to Cameron. I looked up to them guys. Those guys was better than me, way more advanced.
Yes.
But at an age where, okay, this is doable. This could happen. I could you know, I could get better.
Yes.
I seen somebody who went to the same school as me. Like I went to elementary school with Honeycomb. So I seen him playing when I was like third grade, and I was like, wow, this guy can score. He know how to shoot. He know how to do layups. He know how to do everything. So I seen a lot of that early. I played against Stephon when I was like 9 years old.
Wow.
So Skip Rayford Austin when I was like around 9. So I seen these guys at a real young age, and that really, you know, it opened it up. And then, you know, from that point on, you kind of like in, you know what I mean? You just in it. And I was a basketball fan. So I was more of a fan than more players. And I think that's kind of like the thread in my life is basically like being into what it is and not just being good at it.
Not being good.
You know what I'm saying?
That's deep what you said right there. Yes.
Yeah, because it's like I wasn't a talented basketball player. I wasn't a rapper. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when I'm looking at it, I went on trips with basketball players from my school because they felt they was comfortable if I came with them.
Yes.
When you know, college was recruiting them, like Ali Mo.
Yes.
You know, Ali Mo, Black Widow from and one.
Yes.
You know, we was in high school together. My friend Kuda, they was all city. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And good. I was just a young kid who knew a lot. So I knew a lot. I had always had the magazines. I always had all of that. So I knew who was the best player in the country. I knew what album was coming out.
Boom.
So it all started with like the magazines and being on the train.
Yes.
The whole going, you know what I mean? Getting off on 86, getting her 25th Street in Lexington. You got the newsstand right there. You know what I mean? So I knew all the newsstands in the city. Like I knew who was gonna have the source early. Same way with records. Yeah. So I knew when the basketball magazines was gonna come out in August. So I was gonna get that. You know what I mean? So I was like always on that stuff, and nobody was really going that far in the hood. You know what I'm saying? It was like they kind of was just like if it's on the news, if somebody said it, cool. But I was kind of like going a little further. And then eventually I just started reading books about both of them, about hip hop and basketball. Just like reading fundamental books, reading books about basketball players. Yeah. You know, so a lot of my education from it came from academics, came from just like going to the library and being like, hey, I got any books about hip hop? And they're like, I remember them saying it's one.
Remember?
I remember they said it was one. They were like, it's one. And you know, and I couldn't remember which one it was. It might have been just a regular who's who in hip hop, like like a real early joint where it's like A for Africa Bambaataa, B for it was like that type of real elementary
hip hop in China,
introduction 101 to hip hop type of book. You know what I'm saying? But it got me going. It got me started because that stuff wasn't common knowledge to me. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't common knowledge. Like I didn't know that Kumo D was in the Treacherous 3.
Yeah.
I didn't know. I mean, I just knew Kumo D.
Yeah,
go see the doctor and all that. You know what I'm saying? But I came in around that time. So the first generation I missed. I wasn't there. I didn't really, you know, I didn't hear White Lines when it came out. I didn't hear
that's the date
when it came out. But by the time, you know, right when they started talking about hip hop and writing about it is when I got into it.
You was there.
Yeah, so I got the education firsthand, and then I'm asking people in the hood. I know Greg, because Greg Maris from Rucker Park, who used to run, you know, who kind of basically started it.
Yeah.
He was in the rap group, the Disco 4. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, and they was from basically over there around Lincoln.
Yes.
And what's that, Riverton?
Yeah, across the street.
Yeah, like Lincoln and Riverton, that area. It was a few groups over there.
Yeah.
So he was from there to where the guy Al B, who did the mic, was in that group as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it kind of it started in Morris Park. Like his first game he had was in Morris Park, and it was his Disco 4 versus like the Fearless 4 or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, then the next year, a couple of street guys wanted to get a team. It was like, yo, we want to play against y'all. You know what I mean? So it really started in the hip hop in the streets.
Yeah, in the streets.
Because it's like that's who's gonna.
You got a chance to experience that, and that's the reason why. See what you just said right there. What you just said was a lot of people. Because a lot of people don't know the love for hip hop, the sound, where does the education come from, right? Now, when I was younger, I was a graffiti. I used to love writing graffiti. So I would go to the Hall of Fame, 106th Street, and that was a legal wall, and I would sit out there trying to get outlines. I used to love to meet graffiti artists. Yeah. And that was, so what came with graffiti was the hip hop at that time. So I was always listening to Kiss FM for the new records out. I used to hunt for tapes like Ultra Magnetic, Mr. Magic Rap Attack. That was my favorite group back then, Ultra Magnetic.
Yeah, for sure.
MC Shan was one of my favorite artists. And
gotcha.
So now
you like right before me, to the point where it's like, I remember when I was into graffiti, you know, it was like, you know, just seeing it. It's the earliest thing to get into because it costs nothing. You feel me? Like it costs nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, especially just to experience it. You know what I'm saying? You could just, like you said, you could just go there and be like, oh shoot, wow, this person, that person.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I remember the first person that really, one of my earliest memory is just seeing Easy.
Yo, Easy, Josh, Trapping Best.
Yeah. Seeing Easy written the way he wrote it. You know what I'm saying? With the S and then the Y all in one. Like that was influential to me, heavy. You know what I'm saying? Just off of
African Americans, right?
Huh?
They all black.
Yeah.
Josh,
sure.
St. Nick, Josh 5, Trap. Exactly.
I got a chance to meet Stay High 149 before he passed away.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And I just bumped into him on the street, and I was like, yo, that's familiar. Because they just did a little ad on him and stuff. So graffiti was definitely first for me as well, because, you know, the early hip-hop, like, you know, could say if I'm born 78, and by the time I'm in elementary school, you know, we already tagging. You know what I'm saying? We already tagging in elementary.
You got a name.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So by the time I got to high school, I got back tagging because of I was into the Artifacts.
Yes.
You remember the Artifacts?
Yes.
They came out with their stuff, and then it was like a big little movement of like the Lower East Side Carnart shirts, the Philly Blunt shirts.
The
remember the Philly Blunt joints? You know what I'm saying? That whole look, you know what I mean, with the car, with the army pants, the little Timbs, you know what I'm saying? And it's like that look. Is that look? Yeah, coming into that look, you know what I mean? Like that safari type shit. Looks from the East Side was doing that with some Ziggy in them, you know what I mean? Yeah, because they was rocking the low, they was rocking, you know, dropping all that Columbia and all that type of stuff, you know what I mean? And I
So
think
because
that was the
people don't
era.
understand the air. When you come up in hip hop, like you said, you wrote graffiti. Now look, I'm a little older than you. I wrote graffiti. I began hip hop. I began. There's a group of guys that's from my block. They had a crew called HBR. They was in the hip hop group. They was in the hip hop book. And one of the guys that's in the book, his name is Adam Torres. Adam Torres right now is one of the biggest promoters in New York City when it comes to Latinos. He's not. He does Adam Torres concerts. He does the Barclays Center. He does Radio City Music Hall. He's a who's who from my block. Hip hop petty. They was in the graffiti. They was in the graffiti book about Spanish, Latino hip hop artists. There was a crew called HVR. Now it's weird because just because hip hop is what brought a lot of us together. It brought when you go to graffiti, meet dudes that wrote graffiti. You had dudes that was writing graffiti that began to jump into hip hop, and it was like, oh shit, oh whoa, oh well, he's down with him. He's down with, and it was great. It was great for the culture because a lot of people don't understand that air. There's an air to hip hop that people don't understand.
Right.
The reason why I had to start off from there because then it makes sense. We all love Jay-Z, but the joints that we actually love are underground tracks. What's considered underground tracks.
Yeah.
The Jay-Z that we love is Can't Knock the Hustle, or those tracks that we listen to, and that's what helped him go where he had to go.
Yeah.
We have Kanye West. Crack music. That's an underground song, bro. Those type of tracks is what we talk about when we talk about Kanye West. We don't really speak about his commercial joints. We speak about that want to make us sit down like, yo, this is dope. So now I know where the air came from because a lot of people don't know where the air came from. Was a hip hop head. Now, hip hop heads is a different conversation because most hip hop heads are people that really study hip hop. That's why you go to a concert, you see a bunch of old school, a bunch of Asians and white people there. You can see like, what? Why is this white man at a Rakim concert? Because he's a hip hop head. He's a person that studied hip hop. He's a guy that can tell you verse for verse and we have a historical hip hop conversation with you. You being a hip hop head, you had an ear for the streets. What the streets wanted, you knew. You had a conversation with somebody you love having it because you was up to date in the conversation.
For sure, yeah, exactly.
Your brothers was down the block taking allegedly millions of dollars. You know what I'm saying? But that wasn't your passion. You found a different passion. And that passion, bro, that passion is what brings the people together. Think about this, right? My basketball stars was Bernard King, Chris Mullin, Mark Jackson, St. John's, Patrick Boomer before he went to the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? When he played for Georgetown. That was my passion. There wasn't no Michael Jordan. Moses Malone. I would go to the park and try to emulate what I just seen on Channel 9. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because that was our way to the NBA was watching Channel 9 and Channel 9.
Yeah, 100%. So
this is dope. Now you're a teenager. I sent you a picture yesterday, and I posted the picture of Cameron, Manhattan Center. At this point in time, Manhattan Center's in the newspaper every week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Facts.
What was it like playing them?
Yeah, they was basically our rival. In a way, because Richmond, Manhattan Center, everybody kind of know each other.
Yes.
We both East Side schools for the most part. You know what I'm saying? But Manhattan Center is a little more, they're a little more universal. You gotta take tests or be in a team to really go there. So they have people. So like the year before I played is that picture. So I played with half of that team. I didn't play against Mace.
Oh.
I played against Cam and Rich. And Dwayne, and when they, you know what I'm saying, and that team that formulated. So it's half of those people that's there. some of them, you know, kind of left right when Mace left and stuff like that. But that team I seen play as well. You know what I mean? So that team was really a juggernaut. That's the team that lost to Brandeis. In the championship. They lost to Brandeis in the championship. I was at that game. My friend played on that Brandeis team. Like my old head, the one who like basically taught me how to play. You know what I'm saying? His name was Mike Graves. So he was like one of my, you know, basketball heroes from across the street. That was nice. That, you know, that I kind of got the basketball knowledge and the intensity to get into it from him. You know what I'm saying? Because he was like, subscribe to the Sports Illustrated type of dude. You know what I'm saying? So we looking at the Sports Illustrated, and I'm just, you know, getting magazines, coming back to him. You know, so we already, you know, getting into it from that standpoint, going into college basketball, high school basketball, not just the pros. I was into college probably more than I was into pros. You know what I'm saying? Because the players was players I just heard of. So when Malik Sealy went up and Kenny Anderson was big for me. That was so when Kenny went up, and it was like, oh, he's at Georgia Tech. And I remember knowing what Georgia Tech is that day. Like, that's the day I knew what Georgia Tech was. The day that they said Kenny Anderson's going to Georgia Tech. I was like, what the fuck is Georgia Tech? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you don't even know it's in Atlanta or nothing like that. You just like, you just hear the name. And it's like, okay, Kenny, you know, I guess so. And next, you know, it's Lethal Weapon 3. They're playing against UNLV, the Larry Johnson, Stacey Augmon, that team. You know what I mean? So that's when I really got into it. It was like right around that time. You know what I mean? During that year, the UNLV.
The squad. Remember, they had the squad.
And then Fab Five was right after that. You know what I'm saying? The Fab Five was right after that. So
this is the generation, bro.
So you had players that was like hood, that had that, you know, that had that
it was nice,
charismatic, cool guys. You know what I'm saying? You know, like Larry Johnson and Chris Webber was like hood stars. You know what I'm saying? To kids on it, we wanted to dress like them.
Walking.
Black sneakers and black socks and long shorts and ball heads.
Remember
the
way they dressed, the way they wore the basketball shorts, the way they had these shirts. You go to the
Larry Johnson had the part up the middle.
Right to the part. You know what I'm saying?
He had the part up the middle with the gold teeth. With the gold teeth. He's like,
Now you know what's funny is that when I was younger, right, a good friend of mine named Eric, he went to Georgia Tech. He played with Stephon. He actually did 4 years, and that was our introduction to Georgia Tech. This is when Stephon Marbury was the king of the city, coming out of Lincoln. They talk about him every weekend, every day. Then he goes to Georgia Tech, and my boy goes to Georgia Tech. And he's playing alongside with him. So it was just like, you see, same, a little older, but the same follower. Like, I wasn't nice in basketball. I was always at the parks because all my friends would play basketball. So I was just there for honorary purposes. You know what I'm saying? But I was there with my boys. You know what I'm saying? And dudes just had NBA dreams. Dudes wanted to get a 3-point guy, the point guard. That was New York City, the point guard and the power forward. We learned that in the streets. See, because everybody keep confusing our generation with just drugs. Oh, everybody just sold crack and did that. Everybody smoked crack and sold crack. No, you had dudes that had dreams of being a Kenny Anderson. We used physically to try to dress like these dudes, like
for sure.
Fab Five, that was ill. Remember UNLV? I remember they caught the guy smoking crack in the hotel, and then they said that they found out that he didn't have a high school diploma. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Richie Adams?
Yeah.
Or Lloyd Daniels. Yeah, Richie Adams, and they had Lloyd Daniels.
You know what I'm saying? It was just big to see a kid out the Bronx go and goes pro. Then we had another one was it was like being hip hop. Oh, this is part of being a hip hop head.
Yeah, for sure.
Mixtapes, and you tried to dress like stars. Your generation, who was your first mixtape? Who was the first mixtape DJ that you really grabbed, that you actually spent your money on and didn't get the bootleg joint? You know what I'm saying? You actually took the time to go get his shit. You know what I'm saying?
Shit. No other than Kid Capri.
Yeah, Kid Capri, man. He affected us.
It was no other than Kid Capri. It was like around the time, because I elementary school. I graduated 6th grade, 89.
Mm.
So I remember kicking pre-tapes in elementary school.
Yes, yes.
And I remember his last tape. He had Mary J. Blige on there. He had
Yes.
You Remind Me.
You Remind Me.
Or one of them joints, and on there. And I remember thinking it was High Five. I was like that. I didn't even know it was Mary. I thought it was. I didn't even know, because it was just like.
Oh yeah.
You didn't really hear just random new stuff like that, so you kind of just thought it was somebody else for a little bit, and then you realize, oh, that's not them. That's somebody else. Oh, yeah, exactly.
And the first
start to notice and stuff
from Father MC. It was that song, his hit song, the song that went viral. That's
for sure.
What you do for me. Dude, that shit was to the roof.
Yeah, for sure. Now, I definitely remember that too, but I didn't know that was her at the time.
Yeah, it was her.
Whatever, you know what I mean? So it was like, but during that time, I'm trying to think. Yeah, so it was definitely Kid Capri, but I think the first one that really I might have spent money on probably was Ron G.
Yes, Ron G. Yes,
because Kid Capri was during the time of mixtapes costing a little too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was a little out of my price range. So I definitely might have got copies of Kid Capri tapes.
Kid Capri tapes.
You know, the ones when he had the Worship in the Pipe is the thing that you like. If you had the money for it, you would smoke it every night. You know what I'm saying? He had that over the Bridges Over beat. He's rapping over the Soul beat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so you know what I mean? So he had his verses. So that's what really made Kid Capri tapes dope to me or stood out, was that hearing him rap.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And then, he had the old school tapes I was real into, because that was giving me like a good little education on stuff I didn't really know about. So a lot of my tastes start with the Kid Capri tapes, and then going into Ron G was right after that. And then I started to hear about the older guys, the Brucey B's, the Star Child.
Brucey B.
And I started hearing about those guys.
Yes.
LA Love. I started hearing about them guys. And, then I started going back. Like when mixtapes got cheap, I would get an old tape, a new tape, and you know what I mean, and a classic. You know what I mean? Like I get something like, because I remember it was 3 for $20. You know what I mean? Me and my boy got paid like $20 to taste ice cream at Ben and Jerry's or 25th and 5th. They just opened up. 25th and 5th. They was like, we want y'all to try these new flavors. We give y'all both $10. We give y'all both $10. You know what I'm saying? So we was like, all right, bet. We go there. They give us both the $10. So we like, damn, what we gonna get to eat? What we gonna do? We was like, yo, we just put this 10 and 10 together and get 3 mixtapes. We didn't even eat.
We good because
we was like, yo, you take 2, I take 1. We switch them up.
Yo, you know what I mean? This is where I'm getting at. This is where I'm driving to right now. Those are the years that you may not realize it. Though that's when you really became an A&R. Because on mixtapes, there might be a song you listen to or a freestyle over a beat and go, this is dope. And you have a conversation about. You may like a song that they don't play on the radio or on the club, but this song right here is my favorite joint. That beat is dope. And if I was able to just do with that beat, I can make this happen. Those are the beginning years of having an ear.
Yeah, no, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Having an ear for something like, yo, that's like just like I said, I had a good conversation with my friend. Shout out to Hakeem. He's a hip hop head. He's another hip hop head, good friend of mine. I remember we would have conversations about back in the days about who was the best MCs. And we would argue for hours about MC Shan and KRS-One, because they was battling at that time. The bridge is over. What crews is better, BDP or just All Stars? And we would have these hip hop conversations for 5 hours. And the songs that we're matching up against them ain't the ones that Red Alert is playing on the radio. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about tracks that's not getting radio play. But now that poison is whoa, son. How about Jane is a crazy thing or Down by a Little?
Yeah, no, for sure.
No,
those is crazy. Like I just realized that the white rapper Everlast.
Yeah, remember? He was down with IC.
Yeah, remember that joint he used to have? They used to always play that joint, the syndicated joint, the keep
Syndicated
on
joint.
swinging, keep on swinging, keep on swinging, keep on swinging.
And
Yeah, that joint.
let the people know. To let the people know we educating them. Ice had a record deal called Syndicated Records. He
Syndicated Records.
More finesse from the LA.
Yeah, he had Donald D.
FBI Free Base Institute is where they go to get a high. He bought African Islam out there. That's
Islam.
what he did at that time. African Islam. And
he said Donald D, right?
Huh?
Donald D.
Yeah, Donald D. Yes.
Donald D was down with him, and then Lord Finesse was down with him too.
Yeah, you Josh, remember you brought him out there.
That's how I knew who Lord Finesse was. That was one of my first favorite rappers. Yeah. When I really got into it, Lord Finesse was like the guy that really captivated me, like became like my fan. Like you know, because I feel like everything was for the older guys, even like Rakim. Like Rakim was a bit over my head. Yeah, he was a bit over my head by the time he got to his third album. You know what I'm saying? Like the shit he was talking about, I wasn't like, you know what I mean? The first album, second album, I'm right with him. You know what I mean? He's still talking about mahogany and shit like that. You know what I mean? Talking about the ghetto. It's like, okay, I'm cool. You know what I mean? But by the time he started to like start rapping fast over the bass lines and changing the shit up, I was into NWA. I was into gangster rap. So that came around that time. I was still in the G rap, you know what I'm saying? Always. I was still into stuff like that because KRS as well. Because KRS and G rap to me had the best 90s out of any of those rappers from the 80s.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow. You know what I'm saying? Like they still stood strong. They was right there with Nas, with Big, with everybody else, with the joints they was dropping. You know what I mean? Because KRS had to act like you don't know. He had a bunch of records. The Turn of the Boom Bap album.
Love's Gonna Get You. That was a
Love Gonna Get You.
Remember? Yeah. I'm full of G a week. Absolutely. That's
exactly
dudes is doing. You making money on your pocket, like man, getting the education. I'm saying all day. That song. Why is that or who is that? That song was a dope song. That's KRS One teaching us.
100%.
Like dudes that have arguments for hours. Hip hop and 20 tracks. Nigga, you don't know about this one. How about when KRS One had the live? I didn't know what I'm saying. And these is hip hop conversations with dudes. Some dudes who had some illegal substances in their pocket. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. You tell me why Kim is better than KRS? You bugging. You know what I'm saying? These are arguments that we was having on the benches. Hip hop heads.
100%.
Now, the reason why it's weird, like people go, when hip hop heads conversate, right? See, what happens is we have these platforms. Anybody has a platform, right? But we're having a hip hop conversation because this man's ear helped propel 2 African American billionaires. You know what I'm saying? Because they hear the sound for the people. Yo, this is dope. Now, this is even doper. Put that together. Lord Finesse has a song to love, right? It's called Knocking Niggas Off, Knocking Niggas Out. That shit from Eddie Munster.
Not Eddie Munster. You know what that's from?
From what?
That's from Scooby-Doo.
Oh, that's where you got that beat from.
You know, Scooby-Doo, it goes do. The Scooby-Doo go, oops.
Oh, yeah. Also Eddie Munster shit, though.
Yeah, it's Scooby-Doo.
Yo, he killed that beat.
He killed that. That was an Ice-T movie.
Yo,
that was Trespass.
Oh, I was in Trespass?
That was for the Trespass movie. Yep. So that was Ice-T also back looking out for him.
Looking out for him, bro. Remember Ice-T?
That was his boy.
I don't know, he was close to Zulu Nation. And Zulu Nation was still strong when it came to the Bronx, when it came to hip-hop.
For sure.
And that's
100%.
where Finesse, when he's from the Bronx, he has some affiliation with Zulu Nation, but Ice-T loved him. He brought him a producer. And I'm not gonna lie to you, the first time I ever seen Lord Finesse, the first time I seen Fat Joe in a video called at the castle.
Strictly for the ladies.
That's you know
I remember Ralph McDaniels. Announcing that joint, like talking about how he was at the video. Yeah, this video was live at the castle. You know what I'm saying? I remember me. You know what I'm saying? Like they might have had an episode from there doing the video type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like that type of shit. But yeah, you know, you're right. But cause I seen now just to take it back to the graffiti. This is
Yes.
the craziest thing. I remember I had a god brothers that lived up on like East Tremont, like around like a block away on Maples. It's like right there, like
Yes.
like right where that like 180 where that building where I think Jim is from.
Yeah,
I think Jim's from that building over there.
Yeah, the little buildings are about 180.
Yeah, they like tan and brown with the stripes.
Yeah, the brown tans. Yep. Yes. Sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So they lived over there. So one day I remember seeing Fat Joe doing graffiti.
What? You could have
I seen. Yeah, like, but they were doing a mural.
Yeah.
It was like him and a couple other dudes doing a mural. And then I swear to God, like another couple of days later, I seen him on a video, and I was like, "Yo, that's the same dude that was, you know what I'm saying? That was doing the graffiti." So when I seen Fat Joe on the TV, I already seen him doing graffiti.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like I seen him doing. He was, he was just around it. It's like it might have looked like more.
That's Lambert. Right by Bronx Bar. It's Lambert. Right by
Yeah.
Right 180.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But where he was at, he was like off of East Tremont on the
side
street.
The side block.
By like a VIMs. You know, like a VIMs was, and then you got the side street right on the, that wall, bam, right there. Because that's the way I used to walk. I used to walk all the way to 74th and Vice.
Wow. See?
That's what I'm saying? Because let me tell you why. Because East Tremont was closer, but it was a little more scarier going down that hill to East Tremont to Farmers, going down Farmers, like West Farms it is. West Farms. Going out that way was a little, you know what I mean? And it's an extra stop. So by the time I hit 74th, it's like a few stops, I'm almost home. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and it was like 74th was straight abandoned. I mean, go into 74th after you pass East Tremont. Yeah, it was like nothing until like 74th. It was nothing, and to me, I felt safer with it being nothing because I could just see.
Yes,
I could just see. You know what I'm saying? I could just see for miles. I could just I could walk through the junkyard. You know what I'm saying? Niggas ain't gonna fuck with you if you walking through the junkyard. You know what I'm saying? Too much bricks in there. You got to pick up a brick real quick.
Hell yeah, it's crazy over there, bro. It was definitely. I tell people, man. I tell you something, man. Right? That was the broke down. That was how broke down Bronx. I told you. You go through the side block. This shit is dangerous. It's safe to go 180. Exactly. West Farms, those little pink buildings. That's Lambert. Tremont, you're right, because Tremont is yours. When you go on Tremont. Fact. Yo, you got Tremont. Yep. East Tremont.
Yeah. You got to go down the hill. You got to go down the hill to get to the train. Yep. And it's like now, all that shit is nice now. It's all nice. Nice townhouses. It's like 117th and 5th.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah, remember how that shit used to be? Nothing over there? Buildings. For 119th and all of that. Now you go there now, it's like the same thing, the same type of buildings from that same era. Them brick townhouses. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Them type of joints. You know what I'm saying?
Those type of joints, man. Now, I want to ask now, this is dope because now you're in the Bronx, you're on 174th. It's dangerous. It's definitely a dangerous era. Back then, what was who was like we're mentioning the era, like you said, Lord Finesse, MC Last. A lot of people don't even know that before he joined the House of Pain, he was down with IC. Then it was history. He went to House of Pain. They made history. This is a hip hop conversation right here. A lot of people. This is some real shit. Yo, this is hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yo, that now I remember when Doo-Wop got. Not going to speak about him, but he had a record deal with Blunt Records.
Yeah,
was MC Hurricane his artist, part of that Bounce Squad, or was he a solo artist? I always got that confused.
Or was that Unique?
Oh, it was a girl. I knew it was a girl.
Yeah, it was a girl. They had the same tone. It was Unique. Hurricane is Redman.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Gotcha. Hurricane G.
Yeah, Hurricane G. Yes.
Hurricane G. Yeah, Hurricane G is Jersey. That's Redman.
Gotcha.
He had Unique. Unique was the chick from the Bronx. I
Bronx.
think Ed Lover used to man the chair at a time. I remember.
She was nice, son. That
she was
bounce
nice.
was dope.
She had a dope ass voice.
Yes.
They had some ill ass voices on their joints because you had Snagger Puss. Yeah, Lloyd Tariq, who was just nice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Lloyd Tariq is like right up there with, you know what I mean?
Before he took off.
Yeah, because he's like one of the early street rappers in that same vein of Big L, Fat Joe.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of that, which really coming into fruition at that time. You know what I'm saying? When people started talking about, you know what I mean, the Money Boss Players.
Yeah, shout out to Minnesota.
You know what I mean? People forget about them. You know what I mean? But just that whole anthem, that's why I always say the Showbiz and AG on the street stuff, because they had that one song with I like my pockets fat, not flat.
See?
Like my pockets fat, not flat. And they were saying, I'm getting money, y'all. I'm getting paid. I'm getting money, y'all. You know what I'm saying? And just saying that I'm getting money, that's an uptown thing. You know what I'm saying? Like getting money, not just the thing of it, but saying it like, oh, this is get money, nigga. This thing's getting money. You know what I'm saying? It's like it was a phrase, you know what I'm saying, that rappers wasn't really openly saying. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't saying, yo, I want to be rich.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It was still a level of credibility, culture. Okay, if I got to do this to get rich. So people didn't want to do that.
Yes.
So it was kind of like, oh, I got to be commercial. I got to do this. I got to do that. Yes. But then when niggas came from the streets, they already had money most times.
Yes.
You know
most
what I'm saying?
on the corners. They was on the side. Yeah. Live. Yes. So
exactly. And then the cars started going up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like niggas was talking about Maximas.
Yeah.
Jettas. Niggas was talking about Jettas.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Niggas was rapping about Jettas and BMs, Cobbs, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And then to me, it got out of whack when they started getting to the Bentleys and all of that.
Yeah, that's it's crazy because those artists is what kept us into hip hop. Because think about it, at the time of commercial hip hop, the ones that was off was like MC Hammer, Tone Low, you know, Young MC. They was in radio rotation. They like the Money Boys players. They get played on Saturday or Sunday or Thursday or with the Awesome 2 or
the mixtape.
We heard those sounds at. We really didn't have those are the outlets that kept us listening to hip hop. So even though we was forced to take in the commercial joints because on the weekends we got here the joints that we could, like you said, most of these rappers had money, so it was a different conversation.
Coming into that era for sure. Yeah.
Now it's dope that because a lot of people understand that this is what it helped. Like that's how. So this ear you have, or the ear that people will have, is like. What position you want to have in hip hop? You found the position. I got an ear for music. Right. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't want to be a rapper.
I think it started out with the knowledge first.
Knowledge. So now because I have a hip hop conversation with you. You've been into the studio. Yo, ready to get busy. We're having a hip hop conversation. Yo, that Raekwon joint was hot. Let me try to do what Raekwon did, but with my formula. Like, when you do Nas's Illmatic. Some of his greatest songs on that album are not radio ready songs. Like Represent or One Love or Who World Is This? His joint we love was New York State of Mind, Memory Lane. You know what I'm saying? Life's a Beat. Those are the tracks that we had conversations about on those in the lobbies and the whole show. That's because to me, the hip hop and me, I think on Life's a Bitch. AZ killed that track.
100%.
I give A that. I give A on that track. That changed a lot of hip hop. How I took hip hop in, like, yo, son, you heard what AZ just said? You know what I'm saying?
Nah, for sure.
Nas killed it too, but that's a great track. What's one of your greatest? Okay, we're in the '90s now, early mid '90s. What's one of your greatest album cuts on? What's one of your favorite tracks on? No, Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt. What's the one that stuck to you?
On Reasonable Doubt?
Yeah. What's the one that, yo, this is something. Put that together.
Regrets.
See, boom. That's one of the ones that stuck at you.
Yeah. Regrets. The last record, because I didn't hear that record the whole time. So I was around them and they'll be working on records. I'll be there for Brooklyn Finest. I'll be there for a couple other records. I hear records in the car with Dame. I hear records with my brother. I hear records with Jay. You know what I'm saying? So I'm getting exposed to the records at different times. But by the time I started working and really becoming a part of it, you know, and I'm putting together the track list and we doing the sequence and stuff.
Hell yeah.
Jay's talking about a record called Regrets. He was like, oh, you got to get Regrets. Get that from Peter Panic. And I'm like, okay, what's Regrets and who's Peter Panic? You know what I'm saying? So this is the first time I'm really hearing these names. I'm hearing the name of that song. First time I'm hearing the name of that producer.
Yes.
So he's like, yo, that's Clark Kent, man. Call Clark and whatever. So I had to call Clark because I was already dealing with Clark because he did Brooklyn Finest, Cashmere Thoughts, and a couple other, or maybe one or two other records on the album. So I already had a good relationship with Clark, and I had a good relationship with Ski because they was basically in-house producers. You know what I mean? Clark was Jay guy and Ski was Dame's guy. You know what I mean? So that's why the bulk of the records was records that he had with those guys from the past.
Yes.
So it's like the best of records, him going to Clark House every now and then making records, him going to Ski House and every now and then making records, and then being like, okay, I want to use this, I want to use that, I want to use that.
Yes.
And then, you know, then you go to Premiere, get a couple, and you go to and I guess the Peter record came under the Clark because he was one of Clark's producers.
Yes.
But I guess Jay did it in one take or in one, so he never had to go back to it.
Yes.
Because back then it was different because like you didn't really walk around with the music. You know what I'm saying? Because you had to put together a rough mix.
Yes.
To record it on a tape, to get it on the CD. You know what I mean? To get it to that. So if you do the verse, you might just leave the studio and be like, all right, cool, that's done. Go to the next one.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So now you can easily just burn it, bounce it.
Yes.
Take it with you, you know, send it to other people. But it almost took like for him to play that song for me during any other time, he'd have to book a session.
Got you. Yes.
Got to book a session. You got to get an engineer. They got to put the tape on the reel, bring it up, get a little rough mix because the tape at that time is just levels. So it's like they got to get it to where it sounds good.
Yes.
Just so you can listen to it.
Yes.
Every time you listen to it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that was the whole thing. That's why certain songs might not have got listened to a lot of times.
Yeah, got you. I got you.
Now you can live with it because it's easy to just make it, sit with it, and then play it in your car, play it in your headphones.
And the reason, you know, and it's because a lot of the songs that we love, like how you broke that down. I remember this kid named IQ from my neighborhood. He had like a mini studio in his crib, and he would break down basically the same formula. You got to put the music together. Because like you said, back then, when you rap, you had to physically go to the studio and physically lay it down. Like you write a rhyme, but then you want to get and hit different beats to go, how can I catch? Because it's about catching the beat. You know what I'm saying? You can write a rhyme, but then, you know what I'm saying? A lot of dudes like to sit there while they're putting the music together so then it works. You got the flow. You got some dudes that's just nice rapping. They can catch any beat. You got some dudes you got to find a beat that works for me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
that's why it comes back to the DJs.
Yes.
And that's why I like when you go back to it, that's why when you said it, Doo-Wop had a team. Doo-Wop had an ill squad, right? The Bounce Squad. And the reason why most DJs become producers, or a lot of producers was DJs, is because they already got most of the equipment.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So like if me and you wasn't DJs and we just bought a drum machine, you know what I'm saying? We still got to get other things. We just be sitting there looking at it. We got to get some speakers. We got to get some turntables. We need some mixers to hook it up to. So you still need more stuff to go with it. So at that point, you know, you'll catch DJs just getting a drum machine and then they starting to make beats. And then it just evolved into that. and stuff like that. So as far as having the access to it, Clark Kent was a DJ.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Still is. You know what I'm saying? So it was easy transition for him, but he also made dope ass beats and he knew what he was doing all around the board. So when you look at it from that standpoint, and Ski being a rapper slash producer, you know, and original flavor and everything. So it was a you know, it was a no-brainer. So we always had in-house guys.
Now you said something, original flavor. I remember original flavor because I believe it was on Def Jam Records.
No, they was on Atlantic.
Oh, they was
East
on
West. Yeah.
Like some was a part
Electra,
right?
Electra, East West Electra, I think. One of those.
Jazzo was part of that, right?
Huh?
Original flavor was somebody in hip hop was a part of it. Jazzo or that the guy Dr. Dre or the Dre guy. Was he a part of original flavor? The one that be with Ed Lover? He's a
That's
part of
original concept.
Yeah, boom. It was that was on Def Jam, I think. It was that
Original concept was on Def Jam.
It was on Def Jam. That's what it was on Def Jam.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I remember
original flavor is Can I Get Open?
Yes.
With Jay and stuff like that. They had another song, Think You All That, and a couple other records, but that was their main record with the Jay record, you know, eventually because of Jay, you know what I mean, the what he ascended into and everything. Just like the Hawaiian Soul Food record. It's like you know, those records become time stamps in Jay's career.
Yes.
To where if like for those guys, it would have been, you know, mentioned like we mentioned, you know, in the old like my phone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Deep Freeze.
You know what I'm saying? It's like them type of records, but nobody from that record turned into Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's just those things. You know what I'm saying? Or the other record, I mean, Homeboy, we was that we first connected, K-Born. You know what I mean?
The rap generation. And,
exactly.
And I'm gonna tell you what's crazy, man, is that's like you said, that being a hip hop, following hip hop, no matter what you're doing in our travels. You was doing what you're doing, your travel, basketball, music, and I was probably on somebody's corner doing something strange. I don't know. But when I was with it, I had an ear, so I would spend money to listen to my favorite mixtape or my favorite rapper. Take the time out to listen to what's new on video, and it's just you knew that. You was a guy that people would sit in the car. Let's get Kyambo in the car. What's going on? Boop! What you think about this? You know what I'm saying? And when you said, yo, it's dope. Yo, we got to push this in the street because Kyambo said it's dope. That's when you know that you had an ear for hip hop. When dudes have been said, let's get Kyambo Fireman from the moon right now. Coming in, Kyambo, what you think about this? That's when you have an ear for something. We can fix it a little bit. Yo, this is dope. Or yo. That was what hip hop was. If I made a rap song and you was listening to it and you go, Naz, you got to fix your flow. Dudes was really trying to fix it. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, bro. Think about it. Because you was a hip hop head. You can sit down with the best. You can sit down with Rakim because you read the books and talk about that era of hip hop. They be like, yo, son, you know a lot about this hip hop shit.
Yeah, with anybody for sure.
That's the power in hip hop. Now, it's funny because you mentioned about that's a concept. I remember like my cousin was on the radio getting these records. They were sending it to him, and when I seen Ed Lover and Dr. Dre, you know, Yo MTV Raps, I was like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? That was big because in Albany, New York, you didn't get Video Music Box. You got Yo MTV Raps because I was upstate.
Gotcha.
It's. I remember one time me and my friend went to Atlantic Records. That was when I don't know if it's still at Rockefeller Center, but we tried to go to Atlantic Records at Rockefeller Center. Or we moved on to Warner Brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is the late 80s. And my boy got through the elevator and he started rapping. He just said, listen, come back with some music. And he gave us a card. My boy never took it serious and nothing ever happened for me. What was it like for you walking into your first record label? Just going in with an idea. I got an idea. What was it like just going into the label without having, all you had was what you knew. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Who was the first artist you walked into a label with, other than Jay-Z?
Probably. I mean, yeah, it was different for me because I kind of started with a small label with nobody there. So I got to see it build up piece by piece. I seen them hire a publicist, then hire a radio person, then hire a general manager, then hire a video director, then hire regional reps. I seen, you know what I mean? So I seen it get built up piece by piece and stuff like that. So by the time I went to started going to labels was when we probably took our trips to LA. I remember going to LA for the first time, and we went to Priority Records.
Yes.
And that was our distributor, but it also was, you know, the label where NWA came from, the label where, you know, that put a lot of things out first.
Yes,
Ice Cube, Master P was just started at the time. He was starting there. So it was so that was excited going in there because it's like right down the street from where I'm at now in the CNN building, and it was like they had like a whole floor. It kind of like went in a circle, you know what I'm saying? It's different offices. And I remember only thing I remember is you know, Ben Baller. You know Ben Baller? Behind the Baller podcast, Ben Ying Baller.
Yeah. I knew you talking about.
Yeah, the jeweler.
Yeah.
He used to work there.
Wow.
Yeah, so he got that name from my brother because they used to always, you know, we'll always go to his office.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? He was the promotion, so I always remember going to his office because it's like you're not going to the CEO office. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of gravitate with people that's into what you're into. You like looking in there, you're looking at what's on their walls.
Yeah.
You're like, oh shoot, okay. You like, you know what I'm saying? You're looking at their posters. You're like, oh shit, you like Rakim too? All right, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, oh, you worked on that? You know what I'm saying? So you kind of starting conversations. So going in Priority, and then later on, eventually, I went to all the meetings with Dame.
Wow.
So I went to like Profile with him. I went to Tommy Boy with him. I went to Def Jam, Epic, Sony. Because after Priority, they were shopping another deal.
Yeah.
Which eventually ended up at Def Jam.
But
during that process, we met with everybody. And I went to at least 90% of the meetings with him.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't like we didn't have a roster.
Yes, it was just
we only had Jay, and Bleak was around, but he wasn't signed.
Yes.
So it wasn't like I didn't have a lot to do.
Yes.
Put it like that, going into between the first and second album.
Yes.
It was like I'm at the office all day. We're not an active label. It's not a bunch of artists. It's not like we don't have our own studio.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So if a song come out and we doing something, this is around the time when I'm like hanging with Ski, going to Ski House and learning how to make beats and, you know, kind of backing into being an A&R because it was downtime and I was just around beats and I'm starting to pick them and I'm like, hey, listen to this, listen to that.
Yes.
Yeah, so I guess he synced that I was already, you know, the age in tuned and so by the time I picked the first beat, he told me I'm gonna pick all his beats. You know what I mean? Like, yo, you're gonna pick the beats. So that was, you know what I mean? So that I said that was the Streets is Watching beat. And you know, I always tell him about music. We'll talk about stuff. So I was kind of in that role already, but not really with him. But through Dame and through my brother, he knew.
Yes.
Like I'll put Dame on stuff because he right down the street. You know what I'm saying? I'll put my brother on stuff because that's my brother. I see him a lot. Yes. So Jay, I didn't see a lot. You know what I'm saying? I only seen him when everybody got together.
Yes.
So it would never be like me and him just off to the side kicking it or nothing like that. Like that wasn't the case up to me picking the beat. Then it was like, okay, cool. Now he coming to pick me up on 119th Street.
Yes.
Every day. He dropped me off at 119th Street every day. You know what I'm saying? So Jay coming through it. And then that's when he said, I can't go through Harlem again because at the time, it was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? He couldn't drop me off. He was too big. Shit, you know what I'm saying? It was just too much. It was like that Bentley to 1:30 in the morning, 12 at night, 11:30. You know what I mean? You driving a Bentley through 119th Street. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying?
You can't.
You know, the light on Linux is always red, you know what I'm saying? Because they try to go, you know, they go up Linux. They don't give a fuck about niggas going east or west. You know what I'm saying? They just so you always get caught at the light on Linux coming up, whatever street you coming up. You know what I mean? So
because I remember right in the club, he makes the third album, the Hard Knock Life, right? The song that he had good timing. Juvenile, Cash Money was on it, was blinging, and Hot Boys was doing all over the place. They had a song. Juvenile had a song. Jay-Z was on the remix. And because at that time it was so much gang culture, he had to, in that Juvenile remix, he said that song, make your guns go blah, blah, blah. Yo, that was, at that time, that was the blood anthem. Because the homies would be like, some gang-related shit. At some point, niggas started to call Jay-Z blood. Yo, he's blood. Because he said, because the only he said was, you have big guns and some shit that goes blah, blah, blah. And that's it off in the club. It was a song with Juvenile. Juvenile song first. And
the Ha remix.
Huh?
It was the Ha remix.
That shit took off. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I remember when that shit, we was in the club, tossing all type of gang signs up. Shit didn't even know. Like, yo, son, yeah, home. You know what I'm saying? That was the culture at that time.
Right.
You got to experience to go for Jay. Now that's how we use it to break that down, because you sat in me with labels where you had to sell this to Tommy Boy, these other labels, they sit there going, we really want to MC him. You want somebody who's going to sell 10 million records. Jay-Z can dance more, then enough to give him a chance. Then Russell or Leo, or whoever had the idea to sign Jay to that deal, I'm not going to lie to you. Yo, took off after that. Yo, you wasn't the same hip hop no more. Now, you're a different hip hop. Like you said, Jay couldn't drop you off no more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, it took some time. It was like the probably about the second album, coming after the second album, going into the third. Yeah, like right around Hard Knock Life, I guess, around that time. It's when yeah, because that's when I kind of like when he probably stopped, dropped me off every day type of thing. You know what I mean?
Now think about this. When Jay on Knock Life, it was a change in hip hop. DMX was going to, he was on fire. His first album, that shit was on fire. And I remember my man DJ Errol, who was a big DJ in Albany. He used to DJ in his club, and these are the records that he was playing. Like he played, he was killing Jay-Z that remix with Juvenile. He was playing the Trick Daddy and what's shorty name? That you know what I'm saying? The female.
Trina.
Yeah, Trina. He was playing the Jay-Z joints, like the one hit the song he had with Jazz. That was big in the clubs. I remember these songs. I remember what, and all that other. These are the records I've been playing in these clubs. And Jay-Z was like on four of them. And then one of the songs was like a club favorite. Even though it wasn't for that time, it was the Jay-Z and Fox. You could play that in any party.
Anywhere, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was like an instant classic in a way.
That was basically. And these, I remember he would play these records.
Especially club.
Those were the
because it was already a good club record already. Like it was already from the EPMD or whatever. So it was already,
now,
you know.
That's funny. Mr. Warbucks, he says, didn't Irv get y'all signed to Def Jam? You know, Irv on this $200 million tour right now. So he's saying a lot of things in Drink Champs. He drink, you know, Irv with over $5 million is dangerous. But shout out to Irv guy. You know what I'm saying? $100 million, Supreme went to jail. A couple of legend niggas died. You know what I'm saying? Money bag or town caught up. But what did Irv have to do with fucking signs? Did he set the meeting? Or
not at all. It happened because of the first they started doing business because of the Foxy Brown record we just mentioned.
Yes, I remember that. Yes.
So from that point, that was on Nutty Professor.
Yes.
And then the next soundtrack they had was Rush Hour.
Boom.
And we did Can I Get Her?
Yeah.
So Can I Get Her was a Ja Rule record.
That's what it was.
That was a Ja Rule record that Jay got from him and told him, okay, I'll leave you on the record. And we use it for this because he needed a record for that soundtrack at that time. You know what I'm saying? So during that time, like I said, we was going around meeting everybody.
Yes.
So it wasn't a matter of who, we just had to, it was just a matter of what the deal was.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So with Def Jam, it wasn't really going to be Def Jam because they wanted a distribution deal like they just had.
Yes.
At priority. You know what I'm saying? So they're already thinking we want to own our shit.
We
want to do that. That's what we're trying to do. But at the time, a lot of record labels started to switch up. Like Cash Money did a deal. They got a distribution deal with an advance.
Yes.
With money, with a budget. So that was big. That was unheard of.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Wendy Day. I think she played a part to that.
Wendy Day, definitely, for sure. Yeah. Wendy Day is the reason why I found Kanye, but that's another story.
Shout out to Wendy Day.
Boom. Yeah, Wendy Day is definitely, she the first person that ever reached out to me as soon as I got my job at the A&R.
Yes.
And flew me to Chicago to do a conference. You know what I mean? And that's how I met Kanye.
You met Kanye.
But she
get your book, get your notebooks out. Get your notebooks out, people. That's right. That's historical right there.
But if she was with Dame and them, everything would have went a different way. Because she understood that, you know what I mean? So what happened is that they was with Young Lawyers at the time. Rest in peace to Reggie Osei and Ed Woods. Combat Jack.
Yes.
Combat Jack was our lawyer.
Yes.
When we started. You know what I'm saying? So they was fresh out of school and it was a snafu with the contract with Priority. So they had to leave Priority because of that. Yes. So they would have rather stay at Priority and kept building up their stuff.
Yes.
Building up the catalog, building up the label.
Yes.
So the fact that they had to leave to go to Def Jam, it kind of turned Jay more into an artist. Because it was a bigger commitment on his side to do a few albums, to, you know what I mean, to them having a deal. And it mattered, you know, and after he did the first one and didn't have a certain level of support.
Yes, I remember the first one on Def Jam. I remember that, yes.
No, the first one on Priority.
Oh.
After he realized, okay, I don't have enough to go up against the Biggies and the Nas.
Yes, man. Yes, got you.
On this type of label.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Or by ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So Def Jam was a perfect case because they was already in position. Like Irv came a little after us to Def Jam.
Yes.
Irv hooked up a meeting at TVT. We was trying to go to TVT because TVT was a distributor.
Yeah.
Just like Priority.
Distributor.
So yeah, so we were trying to get into a similar deal with them. And I remember it almost being you know, I feel like that was one of the meetings. I remember going to Dame and being like, yo, we should try to, you know what I mean? Like it was feeling like them or Tommy Boy to me, just as far as the business and the type of deals they were trying to do and stuff like that, to where like Interscope was on another level. They wasn't really, you know what I mean? So other people wasn't giving them what they wanted.
Yes.
Because it wasn't like Jay knocked the first one out the box.
Yes.
But with Def Jam, they had the soundtracks.
Yes.
And that kind of had them, they had a different insight on Jay. Yes. They seen what Jay was when they got behind the record.
Yes.
When they radio team worked Ain't No Nigga. When they worked Ain't No Nigga, it went to the top. When they worked Can I Get Her, it went to the top. But we didn't have that all the time. Yeah, that wasn't at our because actually Can I Get Her was a little later because that's after Volume 1.
Yes.
So, you know what I mean? So it really was the Ain't No Nigga that led to the deal.
Yes.
Because Kevin Lyles was like doing radio when we started it. But by the time we finished, he was moving up.
Yeah, he was yes.
So that was a big part of it as well. Because now he's up there, Lior and everybody. So they kind of got cool with Dame and everybody. So that whole relationship of that happened.
Yes.
And at the same time, Irv comes in and Bimmy. I remember them at around the same time.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because they used to be at Def Jam used to have like it was mainly Chris Lighty.
Yes.
He was the main guy there for when we first got there.
Yeah, first got there, Chris.
But then he started to like build up the Violator. more,
Yeah,
getting his own thing together. You know what I mean? More, and eventually he moved on to like Jive or somewhere like that. But before that, he had Foxy.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Foxy was signed to
Never knew
Violator.
that. Never
Chris
knew that.
Lighty came to Jay and asked Jay to write for Foxy.
Wow. And that's how the rest is
You know what I'm saying? And that's how we got that, because Chris was cool with Trackmasters.
Yes.
They just did LL. Mr. Smith.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They just did that album. I Shot You and all of that.
Yeah.
They just did that album because Chris was the A&R for Def Jam. So he did the LL album with them. So by the time Foxy come on, she's on that album. Proud, you know what I mean? She got the verse on the I Shot You with Prodigy and Fat Joe. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So she's on that. That's how he's helping that. She's on J album, and she's on another Def Jam album song, Touch Me, Tease Me.
Wow. See?
So all that's Def Jam. LL, Jay-Z, and what you call it? It's all Def Jam, and then she's also in the firm. So you know what I mean? So she's set up. She got as much backing as you can have. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
So it was a natural place to go. You know what I'm saying? But as far as Irv being a reason, nah, I wouldn't say that was the case. I say that it was a lot of like a lot of timing of all those things kind of coming into play, to where I think that might have been the reason he might have got his job more than the other way around.
Now I remember it was New Year's. I remember it was New Year's, and that song was crazy in New York. And me and my cousin was doing a party in Albany with this guy named Powerful. Shout out to Powerful. And he did he had Smooth the Hustler with us. They booked Smooth the Hustler to perform at my man's club. And I remember picking him up in Brooklyn, the side block by his place that was called off Atlantic Avenue. It was crazy, some crazy shit happening. But when he was playing that Jay song, that was like big. That's when Mel and Ja Rule, that shit was like the #1 song that it's like Flex was going crazy on the radio. That's when Flex was talking about 2 Suburbans and a hearse. That funk Flex, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Songs is crazy. And just after going into the new year, it was all Jay-Z. And you took on the TV, BET, Jay-Z, Jazzo, Jay-Z, boom, Jay-Z this. And it was just like, Jay-Z was a brand new artist. But he's been around. It was like he was just, Jay-Z was the #1 rapper in America at that time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you was there for that, bro. You was at that Country Kitchens in Saratoga and Atlantic. They lived on that side block, you know. I don't know if he lived there, but we put him over there on the side block right by Country.
You said Country Kitchen?
Yes. We put Smooth the Hustler was, I think, his family, or he lived on that block.
On Fulton?
Now Atlantic Saratoga, right by. It's like I don't know if it's still there though, but right by Ocean Brownsville. When you go up the hill, Ralph Avenue, and all that stuff. Ralph, projects over there, man. Right. Projects. You know what I'm saying? And then you go down.
Gotcha.
Ocean, like a Peace Farm, Ocean Hill, Brownsville, Saratoga.
Yep. Gotcha. I know what you're talking about.
It's crazy because you started from the bottom. Third album, I'm like, it was Jay-Z. It was Jay-Z, DMX. Those were the top dogs. Those to me. Those were the top dogs. Anything else behind, because Nas at this time is Nas Escobar. He's the Firm, Nas Escobar. He got Minx on all type of, you know what I'm saying? This is the Nas we're talking about. We're not talking about Illmatic Nas. We're talking about the Kingpin, and they're talking about this Kingpin shit. Jay just, whew. And when you walked in the room after Hard Knock Life, when you walked in the room, what was the presence like? Like when you walk in the room now, it was.
And what you mean?
Like when you walk, they go, yo, that's Kyambo. That's the guy that's behind this energy. People try to pick your like what you said right there. Pick your brain information. Not so much how y'all did it, and you're breaking down how it happened, moves and making moves.
Right.
Groundwork.
I don't know if it really changed because honestly, I was in a bubble.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It was like I didn't really interact with a lot of people outside of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I was in baseline. I was going from J to Beans. So I was even working on one of those albums. So like I said a few years ago, I had that time to be on the block, to hang out, to you know what I'm saying, to go meet. Now I'm not with Dame no more. I ain't with Dame no more at this time.
Yeah, you with Jay.
Yeah, I'm with Jay.
Yes.
Or I'm in the studio with producers, with Young Guru, whoever. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm starting to build my team up. Yes. So I'm starting to build my team up, find my studios, you know, kind of get into the swing of it. So now I'm dictating, so to say. Like to where before it was kind of like I'm still axing around. I'm still a little like, yo, Jay, where do you want to go? What you want to do? You know what I mean? So now I'm like, I got this dope studio. You know what I'm saying? I'm just sending him the address. Like, where's this at? You know what I'm saying? And it's like a studio that I picked out. It's beats that I picked out. To where before I would just kind of like facilitate. You know what I'm saying? I would just be like, okay, why don't we try this? Why don't we try this? So who you thinking? You know what I mean? To where then I'm like, okay, this guy is dope. Well, like this beat, I set up a session. You know what I mean? So I'm moving around on my own. I'm meeting other producers. Because when I started, I knew one producer. And that was Buck Wild.
Wow, shout out to Buck Wild. Yes.
And that was because he was the DJ.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And I met him as a DJ because his cousin, who I told you before, is he's related to 12E.
Yes.
ASAP 12E. So ASAP 12E's pops is Buck Wild's cousin.
Wow.
And that's who used to give me the music. So when that's like he was getting money. So I used to go to his house and he'd let me make tapes. It was him and a guy named Todd. So both of them, and they had a lot of tapes, a lot of music, a lot of kids. Wow. He was fresh. Wow. So I go to his crib and then I guess one day I might have had a Buck Wild tape and he was like, yo, that's my cousin. And then he was like, yo, I'm gonna introduce you to him. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, word? So he's like the first person I met in hip hop in that way. You know what I'm saying? I knew D Nice, obviously, but not obviously, but I knew D Nice just from being around the block, him and Mick Boo. Like, you know what I mean? So I knew them. So I've seen KRS-One. He came to my block with the Louis Vuitton Dapper Dan jacket with the world tour on the back. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Mick Boo had one of those jackets too. Wow. So it's like, you know what I mean? So I seen all of that. I knew they did videos on the block, but I never seen them do the videos. I'd be like, yeah, what the fuck they did that? You know what I'm saying? Where was I at? You know what I'm saying?
What day?
What day was that? They must have been in to play a ball or something at the pool, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I remember just being young and wild, right? Like we was having a conversation. I was like, I remember going to night pools, dope. Like we won't go in the daytime, but 10 o'clock at night, I'm flipping over a gate in Wagner Projects to get a pool. Wagner Projects is considered the dangerous projects, but we'll find a way to go swimming at night at Wagner Pool or Jefferson Park Pool or even John Jay. But
yeah, we did it at Mount Morris.
Oh yeah, yo, you talking about not Montgomery Park that it is now? No,
nah, Mount Morris.
We talking about with Mark Morris.
Yeah, self-destruction.
Dope beats laid out with the ball. Dudes is getting pocketbook snatched. It was dangerous. And find time to go, yo, the late night pool in my mom's. You know what I'm saying? And it's a zoo outside because you know, back in the days there was a seafood spot called Seafood Haven on that corner. My brother used to work there, and across the street there was some Jamaicans. They had all type of marijuana, I guess. It was cool. I was cool to Jamaica because my brother, this guy named Fifth. On Fifth, yeah. I think the Seafood Haven was on the corner.
Yeah. Okay. So you talk about over there by where the Ben and Jerry's end up being at.
Yeah, on that stretch. Yes.
Yeah. And then they got the theater across the street.
Yeah.
And they had the body shop.
Yep.
Remember Body Shop?
Yeah. The Jamaicans. You know
the Jamaicans, yeah.
The Jamaicans.
Yeah.
My brother
with the shea butter and all that.
Yeah. Get your roots on.
The black soap and the shea butter and everything.
Shea butter.
And they chompers.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These blocks was dangerous. Like, the corner, I guess some of y'all might know it was a Taste Seafood. I guess son owned it from Tab, but
Tim
back in the
Sweet.
day, of course, Seafood, and it was like I told you, it was dangerous. But you could go 10 o'clock at night, go to my mom's park and take out dirty, take some crazy chances. There's killers, but you know what's dope about Morris Park? There's a part of my Morris Park that got those buildings. They said back in the days, a lot of jazz players lived in those buildings, like on that.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. It's kind of on the Fifth Avenue side, not the Madison side. Close to the Lennox.
Yeah, close to that. It was mad, it was dope over there.
Because Fifth is where the hospital is.
Yeah.
It used to be another hospital over there back in the days, right?
Wow. Oh yeah.
Yeah, like on 23rd.
Fifth or
I think it was the same hospital. I think they just built a new one.
Something like that. Something like over there.
I think it's Lenox Hill or something like not Lenox Hill, but something like that.
I remember that.
I remember that shit.
Junkyard. That's what's you talking about when y'all talk about fuck Manhattan Twisted. Those were the twisted days. Those side blocks, you know. That's that was because those side blocks. It was depressing when you walk. Like Millbank was like the cleanest thing over. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, for sure.
Everything else was.
Used to be able to walk through the middle of the blocks, like from Millbank, right? 18th Street. You walk through the schoolyard.
Yeah.
Now you're on 17th Street.
Yeah.
17 to 6th Street. You just walk through the junkyard.
Yeah.
Right. 16 to 15th Street. It got the alley.
Yeah.
Which is now the African market.
Yeah. Remember that?
You can walk through there. You can walk through the African market. You know what I'm saying? Straight through. Then there's another alley that go right into Foster, 15th to 16th. There's a little alley right there by the fish spot. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? A little fish spot.
Yeah.
With the steam joints. Remember these had it, you know what I mean? So that spot right there.
And just being young and going around this, you're taking so much information. Like I remember my grandmother lived in Taft. So when we go like 116th Street, it was crazy. It was a crazy time.
Olaf.
It was crazy.
You got that good Olaf's over there.
And it's experiences in life is motivating. Because nobody really have these regular conversations. Everybody just talk about this. When I got rich, we all come from a cloth that comes from a dangerous. A lot of things going on in that era that made us conscious. Like even Al Sharpton with Tawana Brawley. He was younger, and we had the Crown Heights riots, and that was crazy for us. O.J. Simpson, a lot of us did it. You know what I'm saying?
You remember they had the concert on 125th after the Yusef Hawkins?
Yeah, it's crazy. I think
with Heavy D and everybody was there. Yeah. I was at that joint. That joint was crazy. Public Enemy performed.
Yeah.
And everybody performed and everything. I remember Big Daddy Kane tore it down. That shit was crazy. Like seeing rappers was like right there next to you. Like
yo, what's up?
Watching the show like with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like that type of event.
And that's the culture that we grew up around. Just that, and that's what because we come together. And I am from hip hop brought a lot of us together. Whereas something in hip hop is because there was a message in this that Yusuf Hawkins thing where New York City was different. It was mass incarceration. We got this drug epidemic, this new pandemic, this new people losing their. We're watching dudes, moms. Mess with this drug. It was tearing households up. Some of our best friends' childhoods was twisted because of this pandemic that happens. Then you got the AIDS thing. Now the funny thing about the AIDS thing was when Magic Johnson said he had it, it educated us because they had it out there. Only this type of people can get it. A certain type of people. And then Magic Johnson goes, "Yo, I got this." And it gave awareness to us, where a lot of us began to have this awareness. All this was in hip hop, in the hip hop generation. Like,
no, you're right.
Like, I'm gonna ask you a question.
Hold on. It's the perfect time to think. I gotta let somebody in real quick.
Copy. No, this is dope, man. This is a dope conversation about the era and generation. I hope you're enjoying the show, party people. We're doing it for y'all. This is for hip hop. Just in the same generation. He's a little younger, but he's around. And you notice that we're not glorifying drug dealers. We're not glorifying killers. We're not glorifying the nonsense. We're having a hip hop conversation. This is how all hip hop shows be. Let's talk about the beginning, because people come from the same shit we come from. You know what I'm saying? They come from the same cloth that we come from. Shout out to old New York, shout out to East Harlem. Shout out to my man Saladin somewhere out there in the atmosphere. Jamal Saladin, the 050 Brain Movement, Harlem legend. Bullets Gotti pulled up today. Mr. Warbooks pulled up today. We're pulling up. Vic pulled up today. G Mac in the building. This is hip hop party, people. This is dope, man. This is hip hop. You know what I'm saying? This is dope, man. Just being a kid, like, being young, being a kid. I want to ask you, 116th Street, right?
Yeah.
They used to do I don't know if they still do it, but the first year with early in the morning, I have the prayer, the prayer. Was that loud on your block too? Like I should hear it. Yeah. Wake up every morning to Salat. You know what I'm saying? Was it loud?
Oh yeah. Now I used to be able to hear it. Definitely used to be able to hear that. The Linux Ave joint.
Yep, every time.
Yeah.
But that's me on Fifth Avenue sometimes. The Fifth Avenue side, you would hear it loud and clear. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I definitely was able to hear that loud and clear for sure.
Then we had the African generation. The first bootleg I ever seen was the Africans. 125th. That they started doing anything.
Yeah. Now the first one I seen was the Muslim brother.
Oh, you the bootlegger?
Yeah, he's still there. He's still out there.
Wow.
Yeah, the one that you see him a lot. He be with Pee Wee Kirkland a lot.
Wow.
His name is Falker Dean, and he be like by the Apollo now.
Wow.
By Apollo with Apollo Express right there. You know what I mean? They got that little store upstairs.
Yeah,
it's like up the steps.
Wasn't it there back in the days?
It was.
It was. I remember that.
It was.
Yes.
You're right about that. I do remember that. I went to that shit like once or twice.
My cousin used to dance with
I think SNS went there, and I went there with SNS. I think
I knew it. There used to be this big guy that's like in the 80s, always saying pop like children. My cousin used to always argue with him. I think it was Zulu Nation of God by this big guy. I remember it was upstairs at 125th because Rob Bass, I think, was doing music in there also. Rob Bass, his first album, was doing music out of there.
I think that might be Zakina.
Oh, wow.
You ever heard of the label that Rakim and Eric B was signed to?
Yeah, Zakia. Wow.
Zakia, yeah, because everybody always say that was like from 25th. It was a record store, and they had the stuff upstairs because it was like stores on different levels of that building. That building is a different kind of building. Like even to this day, that's where they still got like mixtapes and DVDs at.
Yo, you bought me. Yo, I'm gonna tell you something, right? There used to be a game room on 125th and Park on going outside. This dirty ass game room, and we used to go to the street. My cousin, when he first started dancing with our bass, I guess they used to be on 125. So one day with my cousin, shout out to Leonard, and we pull up to the studio. I'm in front of there. Now I'm 100 pounds. I don't mean no harm. The best I could do is just kick. You know what I'm saying? This is my generation. My cousin, he's going back and forth. This big fat guy talking about what he's gonna do to my cousin if we don't do something. Big hands. Guy has some big hands. Guy had when you're a little nigga, he weighed like 500 pounds of me. I'm looking at cousin like this might go wrong. Like, why you got me here for? Because my cousin, he played basketball. I don't know if he bought because I was outside in the street too many. I don't know. But I just know that the guy was going crazy with my cousin. And it happened. It was just an experience of getting cursed out in front of a studio where somebody made a platinum record. You know what I'm saying? So it's like my hip hop moment, in that moment, I knew that's it. It was studio upset because Duke didn't like my cousin. For some reason, he didn't like him. But he was like, my cousin couldn't go because he wasn't letting my cousin in unless Rob Bass was there. Like, nigga, you can't come up here unless Rob was here. And that's what this one sour. You know what I'm saying? My cousin got to see the world because of It Takes Two. My cousin was actually in the second video. That Join Pain and that house song. And
for sure.
You know those. You know what I'm saying?
Doom, 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 doom.
You know what I'm saying? He's the one, not Gerard, but Leonard. He was the one doing the man all that craziness. My cousin thought he was Luke Skywalker after a while. He started walking around. Everybody when he danced, it was weird. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna fun. We used to cheer him on. Hold on a second.
100%.
Now, I'm gonna tell you what's crazy is that you brought me to this studio. Now when SNS brought you to the studio, we talk about SNS in its prime. This is the SNS. We're talking about when SNS brought you there. What was it going like just being in that environment with S? S was like the mix. He's at this time, is he in the prime of his mixtape career? Is this SNS or this SNS after that great one?
It's probably like right towards the end of the great run because I think he started trying to make records. He was making records and stuff. Yeah, but and he was doing a lot more parties. So the mixtape game kind of went towards the Clue because that's what I feel like happened. It kind of like started in Harlem, obviously, and so we got like that first wave. You know what I'm saying? Or you can even say the Bronx because you got Brucey B, but he started it off in the Rooftop though. You know what I'm saying? So that's he told me out of his mouth. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was like, he said the first mixtape he made was for Poe.
Wow, wow. That's
yeah. And he said it just had the Beastie Boys on the whole tape, and he just kept shouting them out.
Yeah, you can.
That's what he asked, and he gave him like he said he gave him like $500, something like that, $100.
Drive around.
He told him, yo, make me a tape.
Yeah,
with just this, and you know, and do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And he did. And after that, Brucey B was like, okay, if he gonna pay me, y'all gonna pay me too. So definitely started making custom tapes, not custom for people, but like going in the house making a tape without it being live. Because before all his tapes was recordings of the Rooftop, because he started in the Fever, so he was in the Fever first, then the Rooftop. So that's that connection, you know what I'm saying? But the difference is by the time he got to the Rooftop and started working with people like Hollywood and all of that and Busy B, it was post that generation. You know what I'm saying? To where they was doing things that was kind of like would be dated for most people. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they was doing it live, still playing the hip hop records from the time, still playing Dougie Fresh, EPMD, and all of that. So it wasn't like, but they still doing their routines. You know what I'm saying? He's still doing Poontang, and all of that. You know what I'm saying? So you hearing glimpses of hip hop in its original form. On like a Rooftop tape or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's still, but it's a lot of records now though. So we got enough records to where back in the days, they had to like perform on the whole tape. Because it wasn't enough hip hop records. So they was basically making them live. If you listen to an old tape from late 70s or anything like that, it's like battles, it's like it's just live recorded. Somebody just hit record. What Kid Capri was doing. Kid Capri started to go in his house, set it up, plot it out, and then make a mixtape. With the new records. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes he had live tapes at the Castle and shit like that. SNS clubs.
Yes.
So you had those. But the evolution I'm saying is that S was doing exclusive first. He was doing that before Clue was saying. Yeah, definitely. You know, getting into shit because he got into beef. I think for playing OPP. You feel me? So just think about that. Think of the timeline of that. You know what I'm saying? Niggas is getting beef from Biggie. He's getting beef from Naughty by Nature. That's a whole nother lane. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother time zone. That's 91, 92. You know what I'm saying? So by the time people got to Clue making complete tapes of it, you know what I mean? That's kind of like started getting more into the parties. And you know, and that whole, and it got crowded. Everybody could make mixtapes, everybody could make dubs. That's when the tape started to be less like scratching, less live. They was like more just songs, more track listings, just more like just songs. Yeah, with the shout out. But earlier the tapes was real creative. Like if you listen to like a Chill Will tape, they got these long intros with like 5 records playing, especially people like, you know, my favorite was always Double R.
Devo.
Double R and Devo the Pro. They mixtapes to me was flawless. They played reggae, they played hip hop, R&B, mixes, blends. You know what I mean? They was doing a lot of that type of stuff.
I remember going to their parties, right? Because they was killing the East Side. But my neighborhood, there was a school called St. Francis de Sales, a Catholic school.
What school?
They would book parties there. So I would be there, and my project is like right across the street. My project is on 9899. So we just go down the block. But just to watch how they was doing it was just so unique, bro. Like they had this formula in the club. We used to be there bugging out, going crazy. Everybody was doing the dance thing. But just watching the formula, live blend, and just how they would have some of us dancing to house music.
Nah, for sure.
Freestyle in there, and then boom, back to the old school, the reggae.
Yeah,
man.
They at that crossroads of a lot of musics. You know what I'm saying? Where people were still listening to reggae, people were still listening to hip hop. We still knew all the old school records, whether it was Rick James or Denise Williams, whatever. We knew all of that.
But my hairline was here when it was DJing in the parties, man. My shit was here. You can't tell me nothing. I had the S-curl shit. Bonetto Zeke back there was took a little faster. I did that, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? The weekends, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? This is some real shit. As crazy as it sounded, the hairline was like, and like you said, they play a Rick James joint, or I'm sorry, we ain't losing our mind. These are hip hop. We was dancing to Coogee Rap. It's a demo in the club. It's a demo was a club banger. It's
club banger.
It's a demo. You know what I'm saying?
Because you know what that beat is, right? That's the same beat as
It's My Beat that they use on?
Nah, yeah. That too. It's the Funky Drummer, but it's also the Luke record.
Wow.
Which one is that? It might be Doodoo Brown. It's one of those. It was one of the main Luke records. It's the same drum beat, the same. You know what I mean? But I remember looking it up, and I was like, "Damn, that's crazy that's the same."
Yo, it's a demo because you know he had that's when they put out 12 inches, and he had the it's a demo. But we
remember the song "I'm Fly."
War, Rhyme Time was dope. That's when we knew that Coogee Rap was nice because of Rhyme Time. Because Rhyme Time just showed his rhyming abilities. His storytelling was Rikers Island. But It's a Demo was a club joint. Then he goes, I don't know where he was at. Then he comes back and he becomes Mr. Poison, Golden Riches, and Symphony. You know.
Do you remember that song he had? I'm Fly.
Which one?
Is a song he had that he put out with one of his first records.
Rhyme Time?
It's called I'm Fly.
Oh, Time Fly.
No, I'm Fly.
I Fly. I'm Fly?
I'm Fly. Yeah.
I think it was on the 12 inch. I know
it was on the 12 inch for Demo.
Demo, yes.
It came out with Demo.
Yeah.
But listen to that record, and like when you hear the stuff he's saying on that record, it's like it's everything that's happening now. It's like it's like the lingo. You know what I'm saying? He said, like, when I play CeeLo, I shoot for a kilo. You know what I'm saying?
Mr. Warburton said that. Mr. Warburton said, I remember on Fly where he said, I'll play for CeeLo and play for a kilo.
Oh, for real?
He just said in the comments, man. He just said.
That's crazy. I said, when I play CeeLo, I play for a kilo. Yo, everything he say on that joint is like, it's crazy. It's like, I'm in the jacuzzi with the Uzi. You know what I'm saying? It's like all the stuff he's saying, money making, but I ain't Jamaican. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like he's saying the talk. It's like, I'm not high. Like I said, I'm fly. Got it. That, you know what I'm saying? I put my friends in the bins. I put my girls in the pearls. I got the, you know what I'm saying? It's like he's saying everything as the lingo on the street shit to me on that record before anybody. West Coast, Philly, you know what I mean? Spoonie G, anybody. Like nobody was talking like he was talking on that record before I'm Fly. You know what I mean? The record didn't blow up, but you could hear the lingo, and you could hear that in like, cause he got his stuff from Harlem.
Yes.
Like a lot of people don't know that Coogee Rap and LL Birth kind of got a lot of their stuff from a dude named Silver Fox.
Wow.
And Silver Fox is from Grant Projects.
Wow. Shout out to Grant.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like Coogee Rap would talk about being on 13th Street at a bar after our spot. I forgot what it's called. like Charlie's.
Over them spots.
Yeah, like Charlie's or something like that. It was like a 13th and a brownstone. You know how them shits used to be. You know what I'm saying? Just a regular brownstone. They converted that shit into a after hour spot.
Yes.
And the dude used to be in there because he was like, he's like he was in a group called from that Treacherous era. He's from that era. You know what I'm saying? Like Fearless 4. Like, you know his record. You know his record. Fantasy 3. He was in a group called the Fantasy 3. He had a record called Y'all Gotta Rock, whatever. And they used to come to him. You know what I'm saying? And really, they both would say it. Like, they both say it in interviews. They both said it in their shit. He said it. But Coogee Rap used to rap with him on the 113th and 7th.
Wow. See?
You know what I'm saying? That's why when you see G Rap, he was wearing like those hats, them different type of Harlem, that different swag.
The game.
Yeah, he was young in there and stuff, but he kind of like, you know, they said he met that dude, ripped his whole shit up. But the dude was like, he was on another level on the lyrics. And if you look at G Rap and LL, obviously, everybody know they nice. But not only that, they like one of the, you know, they like that first coming from that next generation of like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like they heard everybody rap and they was like, okay, here's what I'm gonna do. So everybody else was coming up together. You know what I'm saying? Like still of age. So when by the time LL, G Rap, and Kane and all those guys started rapping, they heard everybody rap from day one.
Facts.
The Melly Mels, the Kumo D's, Cass, and all those guys, and they building from that. But this dude is like one of the, like a more underground to that era.
Yes.
But he was still able to help them out, you know what I mean, and really help them with their shit. So by the time G Rap started making those records, to me, it had like a Harlem flavor, and he was big in Harlem like that. You know what I'm saying? Like them records was bigger there than it was any place, because Demo came out in like 86, some shit like that, 87.
Yes.
And his album didn't come out till like 89.
89. But you know what I'm
saying? Because Kane came out in between that and passed him. Passed him.
Yo, this is crazy, right? Now this is dope hip hop history right here.
And that's why I'm a Fly Get Lost, because he took so long to come out.
Exactly. He disappeared. He was somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And this is now honestly it's a demo. Because I was into the dance and shit, right?
See?
Now I'm
champagne with a girl in me lane, relax counting stacks while I'm maxing my Maxima.
You know what I'm saying?
It was exactly. I remember I'm fly with these.
Now you see the airport of hip hop shit. At this point in time, it's a demo. I'm in the club on the running man for 30 minutes. I'm sweating. I'm looking like Bobby Brown in '88. You know what I'm saying? Then I remember when Kane. Kane had some songs out. He wrote for Biz, loved the Biz Markie tracks. I remember my friend, shout out to Wiggs PT 131. Wiggs he had like Puerto Rican feet. You know, Puerto Rican feet is small. You know what I'm saying? So he's Puerto Rican anyway, but he had Puerto Rican feet. He bought some pink 5411s and had the pink Gucci jacket. I remember we went to school Monday morning. He had the pink hat with the pink 5411s, some hard blues. I had some 40 belows on, a tough leather jacket, and a Giants hat, right? And she had the big letters. We go to school, bro, and we were talking about a song that King did with Bismarck. And all we did all day was recite what Kane said. If rap was a game, I'll be MVP. We said rap was a game, I'll be MVP, most valuable player on MIC. Yo, that track in school took off. That's just the word. As we began to really follow.
I got $1 for that rhyme. I got $1 for saying that whole rhyme through the thing. A nigga at the Mars pool, nigga told me I couldn't. Nigga told me I couldn't say the whole verse. Nigga bet that nigga $1. Like, you know what I'm saying? I took that nigga SYP dollar. I put that shit. I'm like, shit, you crazy?
Yo, it was crazy because when he did that, then the next track I heard was Raw. He killed Raw. So we're talking about Kane had other music out. The shit that trendy shit that we was talking about was him and me and the Biz and Raw and and then he did Young. Then he took No Half Step In and set it off. That was a car song.
That was my joint. Set It Off was retarded.
That was a car joint, man.
That was it. That's when you in the game room and that's just Wild Smoky.
Yeah.
I remember being so little in the game room that the smoke looked like it was clouds above my head.
Yeah.
Like, that's how little I was. You know what I'm saying? It was a game room on her 18th and Lenox, Spearway.
Wow.
Eagle Rock. There's
Yeah.
a smoke spot, Eagle Rock and Spearway, right there. With 18th, on the other side of the street, right there. But and I remember going in there. They had wild games. It was like a maze. You got to go around that game.
Yeah,
There's more games, and it was just like a legit arcade right there, 118th and Lenox. And I remember going in there and hearing like those records. Hearing like I remember hearing like Ultramagnetic MCs. There, like hearing Rap's New Generation. You know what I'm saying? And the K-Bar joint. I remember hearing that in there. The Chubb Rock joints. The rock that shit, homie. That's yeah. And twice a month, I have to change my number. Cause these girls want a little number. Always cracking beef with 9X. Girls cracks me like Timex. That joint, that joint was crazy. I remember that joint. That was one of my first favorite joints. Like
now,
Chubb Rock was one of my favorite rappers back then.
He was nice, he was
super nice, and he had hits too. He always had bangers.
Yeah,
like Treat 'Em Right and all that. What that Treat 'Em Right that came out? That 1990 Chubb Rock jumps up on the scene with the lead and the pocket full of trees. That shit came on in the club or the little party or whatever. I was still going to birthday parties at that time. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy, bro. Yo,
you going to birthday parties and little community center parties and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You got your dancers going crazy. It was like your cousin and all that.
It was
like
dope to dance back then. Like you was. It was like now I want to stand in the club and look at each other, go. They're like, yo, son. No, it was dope to go to a club. They throw some Chubb Rock joint on. You doing the Running Man, doing the Smurf, you doing the WAP. They're playing songs that you learn some dances, watching video music. I don't do that shit the next time I go to the gym. I'm this weekend, and it was this is hip hop. Like he said, you go to the game room, smoke all over the place. Dudes is hanging out in front of there. The guy who owns the game room, he might be getting high, so he's dipping off. But you're having fun in the game room. They're blasting this music. The car go by, and you hear some smooth shit, and you can't wait to go find that record, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yo, you know what's ill is when I first heard Special Ed, I got it.
Oh man, yes. That's one of those.
That was one of those.
To me, that's one of those. It ain't too many things that hit like that to me. Ain't too many things hit like Special Ed hit. Like that song followed with him, his name, the video, the mystique, being from Brooklyn. That's when niggas really started really caring about Brooklyn, I feel. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody really cared that Big Daddy Kane was from Brooklyn. Like he didn't really. I don't remember him really saying it that much. You know what I mean? It didn't really matter. He was with Juice Crew. They from Queens, so you know what I'm saying.
The Queens, Juice to us. It's funny. I always think Juice Crew was from Queens. Then the original Juice Crew really started at the Fever with Mr. Magic. That's the Mr. Magic. All these rappers.
Exactly.
Then when he went,
Greg was down with that.
Yes.
Greg Maris was down with that Juice Crew.
Yes. See,
that's like. Couple of Fearless 4. Tito was down with them. That's like back then. Yeah. I just started.
Out there somewhere.
Yeah, with Mr. Magic and them, and I think Russell Simmons. He might have rolled with them. You know what I mean? Like that clique of those. Yeah, no, it's definitely with the original Juice Crew. Because do you ever see Fly Tyrone Williams?
Yeah, I seen him in an interview. Fly Ty. Yes. I seen an interview with him. Very enlightening. I always wanted to know who he was. Because I would read the credits, they would say Fly Ty.
Me too. That's one of the first. That's one of the first names that stood out to me.
Yeah,
was Tyrone Fly Ty Williams. Because I remember we had a Fly Ty on my block. Yeah, you know what I'm saying and stuff. And I remember seeing the guy on my block Fly Ty name up before I met him. Yes. I remember seeing like Fly Ty. Be like, oh wow, that's dope. I just thought that was a dope ass name. Like. I was like, Fly Ty, wow, you know what I mean? And then I met him later on, and I remember when I met him, was he kept playing Top Billing
Boom, boom.
all day.
Yes.
Outside where I live. So I didn't even go outside. I knew the song before I came outside.
Yes.
Like the first time I heard the song was
Yes.
probably that morning. He played it. He played it enough for me to learn the song before I got outside.
Yes.
So, but you know what I mean? It's an easy song to know. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly.
Boom,
that's what
boom.
you get. You got it good. And this you understood. Would you stop scheming and looking hard? I got a great big bodyguard. So step up if you want to get hurt.
Milk is gonna pull your skirt.
I get
money
I got. Call me honey when it feel real high. But that's in that lane. It's like, it's that. It's Got It Made. Obviously, Lottie Dottie.
Lottie Dottie.
You know what I'm saying?
Boom, boom. Yo, that was a joint.
Lottie Dottie was like a joint that was like, huh? What you that?
I had these sneakers called Lottos. They had patches. When that song came out, we had
Lottos.
The patches. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I had a pair of Lottos. I got mine from Vets.
You brought me back to the time. There was a guy, shout out to Tom Black. They was in Washington Projects. And that comedian, Smokey, used to be downtown a lot, hanging out with these guys. Smokey Suarez used to always be in Washington Projects, like Tom Black, Mo, Chase, and all of them, in the Jets. And I remember, because we loved that song, Lottie Dottie. That was like Slick Rick killed that shit. I remember.
With your Rico pussy, I can't be your lover. Come on, stop. You know they said that's the most sample hip hop record.
Gotta be, bro. What's that shit? Don't cry. Your eyes.
Your mother with those two little guys. In the face, in the belly, stepped on her cheek. Slammed the child on the hard concrete. Yeah, he was next level. Slick Rick was next level.
Next level.
All the way into
when I heard a song that they sampled, I was mad. Like, that's Slick Rick shit. That's what's that? He started singing in the song. He said like this little thing, like,
well, this is how we do it.
He says there's a part in the song where he sings like a part because of you.
Oh yeah, it's all because of you. Yeah. I'm feeling sad and blue.
And away, and now my life
is like with rainy days.
So I'm like, get out of there, Slick Rick shit. You was dancing to a nigga beatboxing.
Yeah.
Then the next time we hear from Slick Rick, children's story.
My goodness. Treat her like a prostitute.
Treat her like a prostitute. Remember, treat her like a prostitute. Yeah. Yo, listen to these records.
Yeah. Hey Young World. That whole album was crazy.
Which video was it that when it's a rap video, but we really thought that Slick Rick slapped Big Daddy Kane. Because
Teenage Love
was in the video. I think Kane was in one of his videos.
Teenage Love.
Yeah, and I think he something happened. He was like, "Yo,
yeah."
I think he snuffed. He snuffed.
He acted like he was about to go inside his little joint. He's like, you know what I'm saying? You know how them Jamaicans used to be.
Those Jamaicans, little 2-2s. They keep a 2-2 and a Heineken in their back pocket. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was different back then. Blood closet, all this crazy. I remember that, man. I remember the vibe in New York, the energy, and you know what's crazy? Going back to Fly Time, watching. I seen somebody interview him. So
you probably seen the same thing I saw, right? You saw King of Content.
I think I know on there because they interviewed some
Blaze. I think what's his name? From Queens, the guy from Queens. He be doing a lot of joints. He be doing
he interviewed him. It was
the Dots and Fags. He got a lot of good stories. He do like these documentaries on
that. Yeah, out there. He broke some shit down that was historical. He goes, "Yo, I was working for doing something for WHB, whatever that was. That one of hip hop's first.
Yeah, the first station. Yeah.
Yeah, for hip hop was and Mr. Magic and Sal.
Mr. Magic was on WHBI.
Yeah, he was doing that. They was making this connection with this record label stuff, Now, people don't know that the first man that ever played hip hop over the airwaves was Mr. Magic. He played Grandmaster Flash. Not Flash, Melly Mel. Melly Mel gave it a chance because their show was really basically disco and all the other shit. Then he started growing into hip hop when he came to the airwaves. Now, the craziest is Kyambo, the man did is Mr. Magic Rap Attack. Exactly. Mr. Magic. That's the man who gave hip hop a commercial.
But look at this picture. Who's that?
That is like your man. See.
Hold on.
He's got the rock.
No, it ain't coming in clear. Hold on, let me see if I make it bigger. What it coming through? Can't see it. Yeah, it ain't coming in clear.
It's your man. It look like Scott LaRock, but it could be KRS One. You know what I'm saying? You hear me?
It's actually Slick Rick.
Wow, Slick Rick in his prime.
I'm gonna send it to you though. You're gonna see it.
Copy.
It look crazy.
Slick Rick was one of the. He was nice, man. He was always nice when I met. You know what I'm saying? To get fresh,
for sure.
Junkie fresh, and he wouldn't have his good career. Dougie had a great career. It's funny because. And when they left the guy who owned WHBI also owned WBLS. He's African American, Mr. Sutton. Well, that's
Percy Sutton.
Yeah, he owned BLS, owned WHBI. So the first man to put hip hop in the airwaves was actually a black man. A black man who owned the radio. You know what I'm saying? And it just go from there, man. You know,
wasn't he like Malcolm X lawyer? Was he like Malcolm X lawyer, right?
Huh?
Was he like Malcolm X lawyer?
David Dinkins. One of them was a lawyer, one did broadcasting. David Dinkins was a lawyer. I think he was.
Percy Sutton was a lawyer.
Oh, he was a lawyer. Okay.
Yeah, he was a lawyer, politician, and all that. And he just
he had like four of them. It was like four.
But he was the lawyer. I'm looking at it right now. He was the lawyer for the Freedom Rioters, and he was the legal representation for Malcolm X.
Wow. See.
And then he had the Apollo too for a little bit.
The Apollo, yes.
Yeah, he had the Apollo, and that's what it is. He co-founded Inner City Broadcasting.
Yes.
We had WLIB, the city's first African-American owned radio station.
Yep.
Boom. And then he also produced Showtime at the Apollo.
See? Yeah, he's powerful African-American. See? Hip-hop generation first, and this guy was part of the hip-hop revolution of pushing it out there.
Right.
So we had the people. It's just when the label started touching it, got crazy. Now they go to BLS now and they create a new juice crew. So a whole new thing. Washington Tante's blowing up. They got Bismarck and Shishan.
Houdini.
They got
because Houdini comes from Mr. Magic too. That's why the name is Houdini. Right. Mr. Magic Houdini.
See?
Think about that.
Yeah. See?
Mr. Magic couldn't get a deal. The nigga from Houdini, Jalil, answered the radios for Mr. Magic.
Mr. Magic, see?
So he was already working there. So when Mr. Magic got offers to do a deal, he couldn't do it because it's against the law to have a record out and to have a So he was like, hey, I'm going to get a group. And the group was Houdini. And their first song is Magic. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they was really going directly for him, making music for him. And that's why Brother Lurk was like, okay, I got to do my thing.
Yes.
And but it all started with doing a little promos.
Like your Jungle Brothers promo.
It's a demo. It's a demo. Was a promo.
Yes, it was a promo.
That was for Marley Marl to play on the radio.
Yes.
This is something for the radio. Yes. Was for Marley Marl to play on the radio.
And the radio. And
those wasn't. And it's just, they played enough times. It's like, okay, cool. So there's a couple records that was promos that ended up being records. Yeah. Flojo.
That was a promo. I remember that.
For Red Alert.
Yeah, Red Alert. Yeah.
Fat Joe. That was the promo.
Yo, it's crazy. These promos became what became white label. The white label became what these DJs was playing in the club. Other DJs was they just wanted to mixtape. Now think about Mr. Magic. Mr. Magic was like he helped hip hop fly top there. So they create this juice crew also. In Queen's version is taking off. This is the hottest thing smoking.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Bronx, you got the Jungle Brothers, we have Kumo D, we got all these other artists. But then there's a guy named KRS-One. He makes a song called South Bronx, talking about the South Bronx. Patterson, Millbrook Projects, Casanovas all over. Couldn't stop it. Like, cool. The Cypress Boys. Steady taking out these toys. They listen to this shit like, yo, this guy is dope.
Yeah. He opened it up for me, him, and you know who else we forgetting? Just Ice.
Oh, yeah. He was...
Back 76 and the Black Spades. That's
This is suicide. Suicide.
Yo,
take it way back. He was killing the God. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Just Ice. KRS-One at that time.
If I didn't say your name, mean you was not there.
Exactly. Remember, he from back in the days too. He had a couple of, you know what I'm saying? He had some joints, some singles that we loved. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Sure. Latoya.
You know what I'm saying?
Latoya. Latoya.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That joint was fire. He had that going way back.
Yeah.
A couple joints. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yo, you took it back. Sure. This is so deep because we hit the Juice Crew All Stars. We got KRS-One. KRS-One comes out with a song Criminal Minded. We love it. Now there's a song called The Brick.
Because Just Ice was down with KRS-One.
That shit was dope. It was down. It was working. Yeah. Mind you, the B-Boy records I think was on was some shit out of a fucking TV stand, out of a corner convenience store. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Records. They're selling these records. These records is flowing in the streets. It's crazy.
Oh, you talk about the company,
what's the B-Boy records?
B-Boy,
the original Bad Boy records. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's funny because you ever see with Fly Todd talks about them.
Yeah, he said something about them. I seen the interview.
He was like, they keep talking about these guys stealing their money. He said these guys had a TV repair shop, man. He said they wanted to see the kids make a record, man. He said these guys wasn't making no millions of dollars. These guys had
but the boss was crazy.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm still an MC Shan fan, right? Mm-hmm. I bought an MC Shan record out of my pocket, had the vinyl. I would play this. My mother had this little Sony thing I'd be blasting the shit. Turn that shit down. You know, that's the generation we come from. My mother starts, turn that shit down. I'm from the bridge like I'm from Queensbridge. I'm watching video music. Now, mind you, this is how much of an MC Shan fan I was. I would skip over The Bridge Is Over, listen to the first album. I'm going to listen to that shit.
Gotcha.
I'm watching.
I helped pioneer this. How could I fall off? I helped pioneer this.
Yo. When he made the joint, The Bridge Is Over, yo, the video came out, Kyambo, the street got quiet. It was like that one moment we seen the video, the streets got quiet. That's the first time he actually gave somebody, he beat him. They said, Chris, he 50 Cent them. But you know, Shan kept going, help pioneer Juice Cool Law, and you know he found Snow, or he was a part of Snow's projects. He was getting money, but when he made it over, bro, I had to put the record down, and I'm listening, and my friends is laughing at me because I was an MC Shan fan. Like, yo, they would blast this. Yo, see, this shit. Manhattan keeps on making it, Brooklyn keeps on taking it, Bronx keep creating it, and Queens keeps on faking it. And when they say, all you sucking MCs, you know how to play, cuz
that song gave me chills.
Feeling after that song, bro. You know what I mean?
I remember that's the first time I think I ever got like chills.
Yo.
From a record. Like I remember being like, damn, this shit is like kind of like goosebumps and shit, like, cause it was like the Das Effect said it best when they said I still be getting chills when I hear The Bridge Is Over. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and I remember like that type of thing because I was already in the reggae. I was in the reggae before I was in the hip hop. So it kind of had all the elements that I understood. The beat was stripped down, so when you hearing it, and then he come on rapping. but then he's not. He's rapping in a different way, like the way his melodies was and
the West Indian.
You know what I mean? It was like, and he's coming right at them direct. Where I don't think I heard a record like that up to that point. I don't think I heard anybody like, getting called out so directly. Like, you know what I mean? Roxanne Shante is only good for steady sucking. You know what I'm saying? Like Dougie Fresh said, I told you now you ain't nothing. And that was my song too. Nothing. You ain't really doing nothing. You ain't really doing nothing. And he said that, and I'm like, oh, because that's one of the first times I heard somebody reference another song.
Yes.
Like Dougie Fresh said, I tell you now you ain't nothing. Compared to regular and the Boogie Down production. Ease in the mind, it's an ease in the mind. And then he started going into that. And then he was like, diddy dotty, then he doing that.
Yo,
it's like it was too much. It was too much. I never heard that much happen on a record. Like it was just like people talking about that record for a minute.
Kane is Big Daddy Kane. When he threw Big Daddy Kane out there, it changed everything for them because now they're stepping their game. We got Big Daddy Kane. We have Kane. We got what's his name? We got Daddy Kane up there. We got G-Rap. Craig G was nice, but a lot of people don't realize, right? Now this is just to teach somebody something about hip hop, right? The Craig G that Eminem loved and the Craig G that we know. Because he loved him from the battle rap era with Supernatural and all.
Right.
Great battle rapper. The crazy that we came to love come from the original Juice Crew All Stars. Juice Crew All Stars, Dropping Signs, and other tracks like that.
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm.
But you see how hip hop affect people differently. The crazy that Eminem had to do that battle thing because there's a time in
Eminem like Master Ace too.
Yes.
He's a big Master Ace fan. You can hear Master Ace in his rhymes. I can hear Master Ace in rhymes. I can hear Master Ace and I can hear Tretch. I can hear a few other people.
Yes.
But it's kind of like you can hear that era and that style in Eminem's whole thing. He mastered it and took it to another level. But people kind of moved on. Most people.
It's the reason why we have these conversations because people don't understand this is because actually hip hop birthday was 2 days ago. The world of hip hop birthday was I think 2 days ago. 49 years old. I'm about to be 49 years old in 2 weeks. So I grew up in I grew up in this generation. That means hip hop since 78. Kyambo grew up in this hip hop. So now, as we're educating you about this hip hop thing, a lot of you guys, before I got commotion, these were the roots. Like you said, Boogie Down Productions was a one spot in the Bronx, in the corner store. Karis one out of that Turn to Love is boom. They the idea of the Juice Crew All Star Queens came out of an idea. Let's do it. Just get some vinyl press up. Since we're in the music industry, I can network with these labels and get distribution. So that's why we was able to buy a Cold Chill in Prison record. Or these because we really read the credits of an album.
Yeah.
You really read, we got the shout outs like, son, such and such got a shout out. It must be somebody. It's something to us because we watching, like you said, the fly tie on your block. He was, I want to meet, that guy's dope. And one day he's blasting this Milk and Giz joint, and you walk outside, and this is the guy that's promoting Milk and Giz. You might as well say, oh shit, fly tie, this is the third. Look what came from Milk and Giz, MC Light. Positive K. First Priority Records.
First Priority Records. The basement,
One song.
It's like you're right. Positive K. Positive K was the man for a minute. Positive K was the man for a minute. He had a run. He had a run coming from because he started with the excuse me, miss. No, I'm not having it.
Yeah, I'm not.
That was a banger. And then he did the he doubled back and did the one when he did the voices. The girls, that joint what am I? Because what is that song?
One of them went to like a commercial success.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I got a man.
I got a
what your man
That
got to do with me? I got a man.
Moon.
Yeah, and he had Carl Hopper. After that, Carl Hopper. You know what I mean? So he stayed on the girl records. He did a couple things, and you know he eventually got with Big Daddy.
Think
he was
about
Big Daddy Kane with Hove. Him and Jay was with Big Daddy Kane at the same time.
Now look at that, Kane. Now Kane, like I told you, they said Kane had word with mother or other people. The record that caught my ear was Me and the Bitch. This nigga can't be that nice. I told you what niggas was wearing. He had Woolridges on. It was cold outside. We had Timberlands. We had Delta Forces. We had to the 9.5s now. There wasn't 9.5s then. You know what I'm saying? We had Gears. And the dope thing about it was, look what came from Kane. Look what came from Jazzo. A guy named Jay-Z. In those boots, shirt prints, that was dope. You was a hip hop head. Like I told somebody, I said, what we knew about South Jamaica Queens was we have to go to the Coliseum. Nobody ever thought that 5 blocks down was a multi-million-dollar crack operation, and unless you had family in Queens.
Yeah.
You had to have family in Queens to know that this was going on over there. Then you hear something, because we're talking about a time when you talk about Alpo Rich, Boy George in the Bronx, you talk about everything else. But this Queens thing, the furthest Queensbridge. You know what I'm saying? Yo, the Bridge, Astoria Projects, Ravenswood. So you understand that this getting the steps of hip hop, now y'all getting these conversations. Wait a minute. Oh, so that came from that idea, came from that idea. Yo, these records really was affecting us because it's
all connected.
It was connected, bro. It's how me and you are constantly do hip hop.
Yeah, because think about it, like you said, a lot of stuff from Rakim, right? Like obviously we knew that LL used to be uptown with you know, I mean, with Poem and all of that, and the rooftop and everything. You know what I'm saying? But that kind of all falls back to the dude I was telling about. You know what I'm saying? That already had him uptown a lot. You know what I'm saying? So he was already hanging around. It was a record store that used to be up the hill and stuff, like off of I forgot what street it was off of, that the label had, and that's where he used to hang out at, trying to get a deal. And then eventually he got the Def Jam deal during that time. But I think that's the very label or the store where he got all the names from, the addresses. Remember how he said I went in the store, got all the addresses, and I sent my demo to everybody. It was that store. It was a store up in Harlem that that had a label as well. So that was kind of like the guys from Fearless 4, a lot of guys from that era who kind of like was just trying to figure it out, trying to do some post businesses after that, you know what I mean? But it kind of like, you know, not really knowing where it's going, to where it's like they don't got the Russell Simmons mindset to be like, okay, or Andre Harrell to be like, okay, this is where it's going now. I need to start getting artists. I need to start setting up a label, start managing, throw parties. You know what I'm saying? Like they kind of was still trying to maybe make records, trying to like, you know, overstay their welcome a little too long. But when Andre dipped out, he dipped out to where people barely knew you had to be there for Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde to know it existed.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the good thing. It's like, okay, yeah, no, I did that. Okay, yeah, what's up? So, you know, but to the artists that he signed at that time, that was big for Heavy D. Heavy D knew who Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde was. You know what I'm saying? So it was like a lot of the first artists that he signed knew who they was, but it was the time when he was just Russell's homie, because he was like, yo, I'm going to stay around you because I want to learn this side of the game. Now, and it's just that, you know, that decision to where you can keep going and maybe try a little harder and turn out to be someone that's salty years later. Like you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of rappers now, like right now in the comments and shit, like, I didn't go that way. I was, you know what I mean? It's like a lot of that. People could have been that, you know what I mean? Some people are that, but it's because of, you know, they kind of stuck in it too long and didn't transition into something else.
Andre Harrell, I remember when I was younger, there was a show called Ill Street Blues. Dick Wolf made it. The guy who makes Law and Order. The guy behind Law and Order. He had a show called Ill Street Blues about inner city police station. It was crazy. Then there's a show that comes out called New York Undercover. Andre Harrell was behind that. but he got to push. Dick Wolf put his name on it. That guy, he had to slot Andre. We're gonna do an urban police show. Talking about the urban cops of this time. They dressed like them, and it was a hip hop based police show. A lot of things came from New York Undercover. Who's the Man? Movies came out. So a lot of this beginning that y'all listening to came from, like you said, a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, to now hip hop on commercials. It's in movies now. So when you plug in the New York Undercover, you know that a man behind hip hop is actually on that show. Andre Harrell.
Andre Harrell, yeah. Andre Harrell from Bronxdale Projects. You know what I mean? Home of the Black Spades.
Home of the Black Spades.
I mean? That's where that shit really starts at. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I give the credit for whatever 2 days ago, but that's really his sister's birthday.
Wow.
When you think about it, because definitely, it was her, you know what I mean? So and coincide, but it's no date to really say that. You know what I'm saying? It's so much stuff because he was influenced by shit.
Yes.
He was influenced by stuff, you know what I mean? So that's what a lot of people say, and there's some good YouTube videos about it that got a lot of Black Spade guys basically explaining like what was going on 71, 7, you know what I'm saying? Going into that.
Yes, before and he did the first commercial joint that everybody talked about.
Exactly.
So
because the point that they say is that the reason why it didn't spread then is because the gang still was in effect.
Yeah, it was. It was bad.
The truce didn't happen until like 73.
Yes.
So everything that happened with him happens after the truce.
After the truces, because now, yes.
Exactly. So now it can move around. Now people feel good coming outside. Now everybody's setting up their own little spots and in their little projects and stuff like that. But back then, if you would have opened up in 70, 71,
you just got stabbed, shootouts.
Yeah, they was just taking your shit. You know what I'm saying? But post 77, 78, everybody got the little blackout, niggas got their stuff, whatever. And it wasn't too many. It was only, a good dozen DJs.
Yeah,
dozen crews, you know what I'm saying? When it all boils down, you know what I'm saying? Like people could almost count them. Maybe, Flash, this person, the brothers, L brothers, you know what I'm saying? A couple people in Harlem. What's my man name? What's his name? Who had the funk box? Master Dawn.
Remember that?
Master Dawn, the Death Committee. You know what I'm saying? Like that was the Harlem Uptown. You had the Ronnie Green and you know what I mean? So it was all manageable. It was like, okay, here's everybody in the culture. You could tell everybody in the culture to go to the Apollo and they're fit. You know what I'm saying? And they just fit right in there. Everybody, all the promoters, everybody. Like anybody, managers, promoters, everybody involved in hip hop. And up to 80, you know what I mean, could all fit in the Apollo. It'd be okay, cool. With wasn't that many people. Good time. So fans and all that damn near, you know what I'm saying? But the whole thing, what they saying is that it's Disco King Mario. Yeah, it's who everybody says is the guy who was doing it beforehand, before her. You know what I'm saying? Before Bam, before everybody, he was the guy. Bam come out of him. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a Black Spade. Bambaataa was a baby Spade.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yes. So when they do 80 blocks from Tiffany's, that's Disco King Mario is in that.
Yes.
He's the one with the hat in the kitchen table talking to the kids and talking about changes. So he was already had that mindset like, the gang ain't really for those type of activities that people think it's for. It's like we protecting our shit from the from the Spanish kids up the block, from the white kids over there, the Italians over there. You know what I mean? They grew up in motherfucking Bronx Tale, damn near. You know what I'm saying? In that movie, that was there. That was that right in that era of like, oh, you going over here, you messing with him. You know what I'm saying? Like when they, they're throwing firebombs in black niggas' cars and all of that. That's right.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's late 70s. That's going into that era. You know what I'm saying? Of that. Yes. Where a lot of them guys was kids during that time. And that caused them to start what they started. So it's like for him to do what he did after that, it makes sense. It's a lot of different moving parts that had to line up. But I just think that it definitely goes with the Bronx
crazy. You're 5 years younger than me, but your hip hop history is impeccable. You know what I'm saying? Like your history it's like it's great. This is some encyclopedia. This is from the DJ Disco Mario. Just being a student of hip hop. You know what that means, man? That you can sit down, because hip hop now is just a part of everyday life. We have these conversations, and people were students to this shit now. Like, what? I remember about my way, the gangs was like Down Boys, some Samurai, some of the Renegades. Yeah, the Canyons, the Genovese crime family, just to say the least.
For sure.
Jefferson Projects.
What about the Young Lords? Was the Young Lords still?
Yeah, Young Lords was on 111th Street between Lex
and 3rd, right?
On 111th Street. That's one of the mainstays of the Young Lords. We had the Dead End Kids on the 101st Street. We got the HVR crew on my block. You had the For the Block niggas on 107th Street, Real Rush Mob.
My block was the Shack crew.
These was gangs that couldn't really leave their territory because of beats. Like junior high school 17 was dangerous back in the days. Right? On Franklin Plaza, that junior high school, it was dangerous. 45 was dangerous on the east side.
Oh, 40.
Niggas some Lex. Those was dangerous schools. 13, or the Hall of Fame was at our Carver. These was dangerous because of the gangs. So, like you said, they make a peace treaty, and now there's this thing hip hop. So now the new, like you said, the young niggas, instead of us going gun for gun, we're battling, we're rapping, we're rhyming, we're connecting through graffiti, we're writing graffiti together. So now
playing ball.
Yes, playing ball together. Yo, I'm going to Millbank to play against such and such. It wasn't dangerous because now we wasn't into gang warfare. So it was fun. And then an epidemic hits, crack. And it brought it back sort of to the gang shit because things began to happen in the crack era that divided a lot of people.
100%.
War, drug addiction. And it separated. It took the love off the community. You know what I'm saying?
That's what Greg really told me too. When I used to ask Greg about the first era of hip hop, and he said that it was mainly like drugs that wiped them out because the amount of money that people used to make at parties was kind of based on getting high. You know what I'm saying? And get skied up. You know what I'm saying? So they get skied up, and they and some people didn't make it. They got caught up in that wave, and next thing you know, these guys is crackheads.
Now, this is dope. This is the dope hip hop conversation. Now, I know you said you want to do something with Teddy Riley, as in the Teddy Riley, the New Jack Swing era. Nobody's ever really touched. They had interviews on the New Jack Swing era, but nobody never really touched on it. And I think that's a great lane because the New Jack Swing era was a different time in hip hop. I think that's dope. Because when people hear these stories, they're hearing it from. It's a hip hop story. Now it's not what you read in New Jack.
That's the crack era. New Jack Swing, New Jack City.
New Jack City, exactly. That was a different look, different swag, different ideas. New York City was a different city. Most of your cities was different, and it was just very knowledgeable. Now, I have to. We gave you 2.5 hours of good juice. We're putting something. This is working into a fruitation. God damn it! You know what I'm saying? This is dope for hip hop, man. Definitely. Before we sign off, this is a dope show. Yo, running back this, we gotta bring it back. Be hip hop. We're gonna put this together, man. We gotta get Teddy Riley up here. Not talking about K-Bone. We Teddy Riley. We gotta get. Maybe we can bring some of your great, underground hip hop artists that you guys would like to speak to. We gotta be respectful. You know what I'm saying? You don't know about the beefs, the dramas.
I like Arkell. Arkell don't get enough credit from Rex and Effect.
Let's get him up here. Let's get Arkell up here. If we could get him up here. I can speak to people. Let's speak to the people.
No, for sure. Let's do it.
Huh?
Let's figure it out.
It's a bunch. And we're doing this because this is what hip hop is. It starts from the ground and it's like a flower. See how, you know what I'm saying? Like me. I used to write graffiti, and then I became Zeke Black, and then I've always been a hip hop head. So I've always been back to hip hop. And I love speaking about culture. Because it's because we grew up under hip hop. You gotta think about it. When we was growing up, Rick James was God to our youth. And
to James?
Yeah, he was like God. Rick James was the pimp of all pimps. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, yeah, gotcha. I thought you meant James Brown.
Oh, that James Brown was the OGs, the Vietnam vets.
Oh, at that time, for sure.
Vietnam vets, you know what I'm saying? Definitely, we have to. We're gonna make this happen again. You know what I'm saying this, just working. We're making. We're doing the necessary. Now we're gonna acknowledge the rappers that don't get no light, but they put a lot of good work in. You know what I'm saying? That people just walk by. Let's give them a chance to speak. Y'all part of people. You have to speak to the people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think Rock Marciano, because he won't put a fucking Chinese suit on, they're not trying to put him on MTV. But he deserves a chance to go, yo, boom, boom. Like, they don't, like you don't have to sell your soul in hip hop, but that's just what they do now. Like, these labels, they want you
to. Oh, yeah, no, for sure.
They want you to throw on the skirt and like Young Thug. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So, with that being said, man, this was a dope show, very lot of information. And this is from the mind. Now y'all got the mind. So now y'all sit here and go, Kyambo, now I know why these guys, these rap artists took it to the top, because he's really into hip hop. He's the guy that just went to college and went to flow. That's got to the mind of a guy who made two African, that helped create two African American billionaires. You gotta see it was a black man. You know what I'm saying? A&R for both artists in the beginning of their goddamn career. You gotta salute him. You got not against white people. Salute to all my salute to that. But it's African American. He doesn't go by the name of Benny Medina. You know what I'm saying?
He's stupid.
You know what I'm saying?
He's stupid.
He's like us.
He said, which one is by the name of Benny Medina?
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Don't start thinking he Warner Brothers, Jive Records. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, this is dope, man. Coaching, man. What you want to leave out with, brother? It's a good guy, here, man. I love talking. We have real conversations. This is real conversations that we have, man. And
not facts.
It's called building. You can build something great, you know what I'm saying? Without slandering nobody.
At all.
You have to slander nobody.
Yeah, we're gonna cover a lot of shit without doing that.
Not slandering nobody. You don't even, it works. It's a program. It's a protocol to this goddamn thing. And with that being said, well, Yama, what you want to leave out with, your brother?
Shit, no, I'm straight, man. It's been good, man. Let's just keep, it's a conversation, like they say. You know what I mean? Oh my God.
Next Sunday we be back, same back time.
Yeah.
Back channel. This is dope, man.
Figure it out, my guy.
You figured out, my guy. Salute.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lex. Shout out to everything in East Harlem. Shout out to Wifey Southern Belle. I love her. St. Louis, West Side St. Louis. We just got into the mind of the man who helped create two billionaires, the A&R, for both artists. Now you know they have to ear to the streets. With that being said, peace, love, and unity. God damn it. Shout out to my man, my favorite Puerto Rican. And my man, Ed Medina. Shout out to Wiggs, 131, Money 131. My project, Lexington Projects. With that being said, I love y'all and peace.